try our best. We shall try our best, but the best team will win.
All right.
Yeah, but we are going to. They're not just going to take it easy like that.
Of course, definitely start as underdogs, which shouldn't surprise anybody, including yourself. But when you're going to such games, what's the focus? What exactly do you want from your team beyond just facing UCU?
No, the focus is you have to play a good game, you have to play good defense, you have to coordinate, you have to make the ball move and try our best.
I mean,
UCU is a good team. They have all the time to correct their mistakes. But we know for us they leave class like at 5. So you have like basically 1 hour of training. So we have to rush things very fast. We have to fit within the school.
1 win so far in the season. Yeah. It's definitely a difficult first round for you guys. What have you made of the entire season?
No, we were expecting at least 3 wins this season, 3 or 4. But unfortunately, we lost some games where we were not supposed to lose. But we are trying to correct the mistakes. I hope we'll play better this game. Then maybe we have 1 or 2 more wins. Then next round we need more wins.
I mean, what would satisfy you out of this game today? What would you want to see your team do
I want
especially?
to win definitely. But if in case we don't win, I don't need to be beaten a very big margin, like 20 points.
But we don't see your opponents.
I don't know.
I think you must be celebrating silently.
No, maybe that is that strategy. They want us to, some teams, that is that strategy. They want you to first, like, you lose confidence that they're not there, or maybe they're stuck somewhere.
Well, but it's not the first time they've come late, so probably it's genuinely nothing to do with the
But I see
mind
one of
game.
them is there, and basketball,
I think she could
provided there are 5, the game goes on.
Actually, I think when they are 3, they can start, but there's only 1, unfortunately, so you can't start with 1.
It starts with 5, not 3.
No, I'm saying the minimum is 3. So, but 5, you have to be 5 to start,
But in case you get fouled,
the minimum is 3. But even whatever the case, even the 3 are not here. It's only 1.
So it's only 1. But so how long have you been with Nabisusa? I was just joking about it. I've seen
more
you
than
there.
25 years. Because I started coaching them when I was actually in senior 6, and those guys used to bully me. But I knew what I wanted in the school, and I stuck to my point, all about coaching. Yeah, so I've stayed for 25 years plus. Yeah, and I think I need to get someone to help me out, because I think I need to be like an advisor now.
An advisor. I see Bashir sometimes in your car. A known fan.
He's there, but yeah, we are trying to work with him. Hopefully he will cope up with what the school wants. I don't know. Yeah.
What explains the interest in Nabisusa and basketball? Is there something you can tell us
about Nabisusa and basketball?
Yes, Nabisusa and basketball.
No, Nabisusa and basketball, these are girls who first priority is academics. They have to study, they have to go to the university, they have to be good citizens in future. So we don't only look at basketball, we also look at the academic standard. Yeah, that's why you see, I'm telling you, the time is now strictly 1 hour for training. Because we cannot go beyond that. They have to do the normal class, then come out of class when everybody's out of class and do the one hour training. Yeah.
And before Grant can come in again, I mean, you've lost the likes of Sarah Namale over the time, and Mr. Tashovia's daughter, I forget the name.
Darlene.
Darlene, yes. How do you handle, such? They're being big players.
We keep building. Like people don't expect us to have players. Even this one, we have 4 going next year. So we have another 4 we are looking at to replace the 4 who are going. So we keep building. By the time they reach senior 4, they are good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what are your season targets? Your opponents are walking in, meanwhile, one by one.
Like we win some games, and we may need to go to the playoffs, but playoff is a bit taxing because that is the time when most exams are being done. The final exam, so we may miss the senior 4s, the senior 6 candidates. We'll use only the young ones, senior 3 downwards, so and maybe some few senior 5.
Okay. In your 25-year tenure, is there a certain victory that you will recall and celebrate forever?
We have ever played Ladybugs in the final. We have played Ladybugs in the final.
That must have been the special.
Some years, yes. We played Ladybugs in the final. But in schools, always people don't talk about it. But we have taken 12 trophies in a row. National, yeah. But
This year it wasn't good
And
for
East
good for
Africa?
you. It was Saint Noah and G10. I think.
last year. But we gave them a run for their money. They felt it. Even when we went for East Africa, G10 they really felt it.
Coach,
Yeah.
we have to let you go because bad news for you. You see, you have got a new.
I'm just welcoming them. Let them come and we see them on court.
Okay, good news. I mean, good luck today.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
All right. Right now we are sure we have a game. We have a game finally.
I'm going to find out what's happening, and as I was walking towards them, then I saw them walking in. So, at least as you can see, I don't know if these came with a bite because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They are 8 now. They are 8. They've got 3 subs and the starting 5, so they should be good.
Yeah, they
and,
keep continuing to
I'm not so sure they are going to be given a lot of time, so they'll be probably.
They haven't even used the dressing room.
They are running in there, but I'm not. They rarely do though, because they come most of the time dressed
up.
They just go. So as you can see, a few of them are running. They are probably to ease themselves. They've just been on the bus, and they'll be back here to play the game. I'm not so sure they're going to be given a lot of time.
Yeah. Does that affect the game in any way? The result, because I mean
They are playing Nabisunsa, it's okay. They are playing Nabisunsa. They might start slow. Nabisunsa could give them something to think about at the start, but you feel they should be good to win, and they will win. They will just have a bit too much.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to imagine the sort of margin that you have in your head.
I don't have any margin, but I think it's quite. Margin is a tricky one because, well, Nabisunsa definitely could decide to put up a fight, and the UCU guys sleep on the job. But I'll tell you, they should be good enough to win.
They should be good enough to win. And for the Namongo Blazers, I mean,
comfortable.
Comfortable.
10 plus.
Yeah.
10 plus.
Which game will you miss the most tonight at the venues where we are?
Well, there's a couple of games. I would have loved to watch the Miracle Eagles Magic Stormers. I think it's a really good game. Not because Serrao is in action, but I think in terms of seesaw games, that's one of them. KCCA Panthers up against Crocs.
The Victoria Crocs, yeah.
Yeah, they're rushing. I don't even think they are seeing where the cameras are.
They don't even see where the cameras are.
It's
one of those evenings, yeah.
Sylvia Nantongo, all she's thinking about is to go and play. But KCCA Panthers, Victoria Crocs is another good game. On any other day, KIU Rangers, JKL could have been a good game, but we all know what has happened at KIU. But also, hopefully, JKL today has got more than 6 players. If it's not, it could be a different story. So, all the games there, Raise Life too, JKL, very good game. So I think I'll definitely miss all the other games they are sad. But KCCA Panthers, Victoria Crocs should be a good one.
All right, as we wrap it up in terms of the build-up, I mean, we are in Easter week and we just saw Eid, we didn't have games. What is your take? Because normally Easter Sunday, we don't have games being played. What's your take?
Well, they made it clear that they want to give people time to celebrate with their families. There's a good number of games on Friday. Should compensate for what you would have had on Easter.
All right. All right, so anything else you want to tell us in terms of attendance? What has happened to the attendance? I see lots of empty seats.
I don't know. There's a lot that has to be done. I can't explain that. There's games, different venues, maybe some at YMCA, but you really get attendance. It's something that has got to be addressed by the league management and FUBA probably, but it's a bit worrying, especially Wednesdays. But there will be a good crowd, I'm sure, at the Raise Life grounds, because last time around when they had a game, it was beautiful to watch. Maybe 1 or 2 more at YMCA, because like I said, well, even the second game, the non-Blazers fans, a couple of them will come on later. But I think in terms of straightforward wins today, it's right here, so probably people prefer to go and watch the games that are a bit close.
Could it be anything to do with the entry charges or something like that?
I don't think so, because it's been 10,000 for quite some time, so shouldn't change.
It shouldn't affect the whole thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the teams are of course having their last team talk before tip-off, and it will be 2 teams that dress in blue largely. Sunsas, as they love to call themselves, that's Nabisunsa Basketball Club, up against the UCU Lady Cannons, who are a wounded lion, coming off that defeat against the JT Lady Jaguars. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your build-up, and we shall be obviously handing over to our commentary team, because in a short while it will be tip-off. My name is Michael Kigozi. I had Brian Tuka with me. It's Basketball Live for you on NBA Sport.
Hello and welcome once again to the LUGOGO Indoor Stadium. As we begin the month of April, we have the UCU Lady Cannons, who lost the unbeaten run last week, taking on Nabisunsa, who have had quite a torrid time in the division in 2026. 1 win in 8 encounters is what they carry. That is Nabisunsa. And they come up against a team that has won 8 in 9 games. And that is the UCU Lady Cannons. John Vianensima, I'm your commentator live here on NBA Sport as we bring you the live broadcast of the National Basketball League 2026 as the first round end draws nigh. It's a David versus Goliath encounter in all sense, and especially when you consider that the UCU Lady Cannons have the luxury of resting some of their star players. For example, Sheila Lamuno is not suited up, so she will not be playing. Maria Widi is also rested, and equally so is one of the finest in the women's division this time round, and that is Martina Nyango. She's dressed there in the yellow top with the black headgear. Actually, that's Faith Aseru, who's also another rested one, but Martina Nyango is also not in the game, as has always been the case. Clearly, Coach Nick Natreres, alongside his assistant Emmanuel Chiguyi, feels that those star players that have been working their socks off for quite a while since the beginning of the season will not be needed, and why not give a chance to the reserve players also to have their go. Looking at the lineup, of course, Coach Nick Natreres has started with a quite formidable one, having Sylvia Nachituka, chat number 9, Sylvia Nantongo, and Zoe Atek, and Mariam Namukwaya. Those are beaters on any evening, but the one odd lady out is Christine Saima, shot number 4, who will be starting as point guard this evening. And they take on a Nabisunsa side who know that it is clearly a Herculean task that they have right ahead of them. Any moment from now, we should be having the game tip-off, as Nabisunsa know that it is definitely going to be a long road to walk on this evening, as their coach Nelson Onyuta, who's coached the game forever, continues to reflect. I guess he knows that the task ahead is a really tough one, but then they have no option but to come in strong. And there will be a lot of dependence on their shot number 12. That is Nabisunsa. That is Abigail Mpoza, who has since last season been their star player. Right there she is in the picture. You think that after her A-level she's going to be much sought after, the under-18 international. And she's standing right between 2 former under-18 internationals who were stars, like she is back on that under-18 team in 2022 in Zoe Atek and Sylvia Nantongo. But of course, joining us in the commentary booth is Gloria Chomugisha, who also started out as Abigail Mpoza in Nabisunsa back in the late 1990s. She knows it all and what it means to be playing at such a stage.
Why
Good evening, Gloria.
I was loving everything, the flow.
Until then.
Good evening. Well,
yeah,
I'm looking forward to this matchup between these two. Reason being, they are up against, for the Nabisunsa side, they put up a couple of performances, and for them, they're a team that scores.
Yeah.
They rely on high offense, and they're against a team that is coming off a defeat, that is the UCU Lady Cannon. So I anticipate a very highly fancied clash between these two sides, as a foul is committed by Nabisunsa. That's on Zoe Atek.
Yeah, you felt that they should have done better there on the rebound to try and that was actually Joy Auma, shot number 5, also one of their star players, picking up an early foul. Do you think it's prudent to be picking up fouls in the first seconds of the game?
No. She looks quite humble as she's standing there waiting to box out and pick the rebound. Zoe Atek barring the first free throw. I was just talking about this Nabisunsa team being a highly offensive side, as Sylvia Nantongo just imposes herself in the rebounding position. But you see how they are playing now, the Lady Cannons. They are a wounded side.
Yeah.
So you definitely know they are not leaving anything to chance against a team that can upset you, can shock you. That is the Nabisunsa side.
And Abi Faith Musimenta attempts from downtown, but the shot just doesn't drop. And now it's Abigail Imposa, who is one of their finest players, with a good pass in, and the mid-range shot by Yikiru Martha just didn't drop. One of their post players joining the shot, number 10. And now Sylvia Nantongo with a spin, but she just doesn't get the shot to draw. Like I was saying earlier, Gloria, Nabisunsa have a big task ahead of them as they pick their first bucket coming from Abigail Imposa. She's always expected to lead the charge there on offense. Yep. But the UCLD Cannons have rested quite a number of their players. We don't have Martina Anyango, we don't have Faith Aseru, we don't have Sheila Lamunu. I guess that tells you that the coach doesn't think that Nabisunsa is such a big threat, and why not give some of the reserve players more playing time than they have previously got. But now that is already 5-4. Nabisunsa. That's Joy Auma.
Yeah, good drive by Joy Auma using the Euro step there to avoid the defense of the Lady Cannons. But I'm hoping that is not the case. So that is not the reason as to why these stars for the UC Lady Cannons have been sat out from this fixture against Nabisunsa. Yes, I'm thinking, yes, an upset is rare, but you never know.
Yeah. No, now that's a shot from downtown from Sylvia Nachituka. But you see, Gloria, when you look at the kind of team that UC Lady Cannons have, they have so many good players. You can't keep fielding. If you're fielding the same team all the time, then you're going to leave so many players unhappy. As Abigail Posa responds and makes it restores the 2 points difference. So I'm sure that for Coach Nick, it's not about underestimating Nabisunsa, but also thinking that if you have Saima, Christine, she's got to play against Nabisunsa. If she can't start the game against JKL, because you don't expect, because they're playing JKL on Friday. So you don't, now, if she can't play against Nabisunsa, then when will she get a chance to play? Yeah,
and you're right. I mean, sitting out those ones, because those are players who average the 40-plus minutes for him. We're talking Sheila Lamunu, we're talking Martina Anyango. Yeah. These are the 40-plus players. So wise move by Coach Nicholas. But also, like you said, he has a flurry of stars. The roster is filled with players who can bowl. Yeah. So definitely for him to try and rotate and give minutes to everyone. It won't happen in a single game, but it can happen when you variate the players.
Saima Christine with a chance for her first bucket, and she gets it on the quick break, following that poor pass by Abigail Imposa. Well, even the stars make mistakes. Abigail Imposa just
I think there's a lot on her shoulders.
Yeah, together with Joy Auma. And Abi Faith now. Now that's not a good pass there. And then the reaction after they give away the ball is not the right one from Nabisunsa. Clearly they should be responding better when they lose the ball, run back and defend.
Yeah, but I was just trying to see if they are in rhythm as they face that shot from Nantongo once again. She's really bullying them in that low area, the perimeter area, picking rebound after rebound. But I was just saying, they last played on 14th March, Nabisunsa.
It's quite a while, 2 weeks ago.
That game they played at Mukono, they were defeated by the
17 days
they were
ago.
defeated by the White Jaguars, Lady Jaguars. Yeah. So like I was just looking at the roster and thinking, so you've been sitting out all these weeks. Yes, you're training, but you're not having those competitive kinds of face-offs. Yeah. So they're returning 14th March, and they're taking on the huge team, the Lady Cannons. Yeah. I'm thinking, is that going to affect them in some way or shape or form? I was just referring to that reaction between the two after the turnover, the entry pass that was stolen by the Lady Cannons, and we saw them shrug the shoulders, the two players. So I'm thinking, maybe is it being out of action for a while that gets you to react like that? Because Nabisunsa, we know they sprint back, they try to double back and play defense. So I don't know if that lull, because 14th March is quite a long
time ago, for
and
sure. That is 17 days ago.
And the team like Lady Cannons have been in action.
That's almost 3 weeks without action.
Yes.
Yeah, clearly. And they find themselves in such a precarious position because they're second from bottom. And we know that this season, two teams have been relegated.
Two teams will be relegated.
And they're second from bottom, just ahead of Angels.
Yeah.
Who are yet to win. And Nabisunsa have only managed one win.
Yes.
In 8 games.
Yes.
So that's 7 defeats. This is game number 9 for them.
Number 9.
Now they need to pick up results if they are to stay in the top flight.
Yeah, at least win a second, maybe third in the first round, and then come back refocused in the second round and try to pull off more wins as well to stay. But we know Nabisunsa, we always mention them may possibly avoiding, maybe they might be the ones that get relegated. And in the end, after the regular season, you realize that they've pulled off a couple of shocking defeats, a couple of shocking wins, and they've earned themselves another season, another stay in the top tier.
Yeah, but you feel that this season's got to be a lot harder considering how tight the competition has been.
It is.
When you look at the teams that are above them, because the closest to them is Miracle Eagles, whom they beat, which was such a big result. Actually, I think it's the biggest result in terms of points scored by one team.
Yes.
As we just see Zoe Atek get the free throws, 2 of them for UCU. If you look at that, you ask yourself, because next week they'll be taking on the Angels, and that will be a quite
good
closely competitive 4 game. But then you wonder who then do they beat if they can't start. You look at the teams that are above them, as Zoe Atek makes it 16.
I think they've put themselves in a good position to pick up a second win. Not diminishing Angels Basketball Club, but I think that's a win for Nabisunsa. So that would mean they will secure a second win.
Than Angels.
Yeah, they do. They're playing better. They have a couple of players
that have improved. Yeah, but will it be enough to keep them in the division?
Win
That's
2
the question.
will tie them, and there will be maybe a 2-way or 3-way tie amongst teams. And depending on differential, now that they hold the highest scoring record, that could be work in their favor.
Good pass coming in from Yikiru Martha to find Abigail Mpoza to reduce the deficit to 8 points for Nabisunsa Saima. Now, Nachituka from downtown, but the ball is well rebounded by Nabisunsa. Good play there. Yikiru, shot is blocked, but then they still have the ball back. Joy Auma, Yikiru shoots again off the iron, ball bounces back and into the hands of Zoe Atek. They need to take care of the ball. That's Nabisunsa. They need to make sure that they execute each time they go on the offense, as they are sunk further there by Nachituka Sylvia, takes the tally to 19. Well, you see with that 3. Joy Auma finds Yikiru Martha, she just can't gather.
Well, one thing that's defeating the Nabisunsa side is size.
Yeah.
You see, they're trying to make those in passes in the perimeter, but because they are lacking in size, the passes are quickly taken advantage of. So maybe for Coach Nelson Onyuta, he might want to revise the game plan and maybe have them set up where they can play the one-on-one, because when it comes to one-on-one, they can use their speed. Because the fact that they're not blessed with size, then they have quicker feet. So maybe they can use their speed against the defense, because they are trying to get the entry passes, which are quickly stolen by the Lady Cannons defense.
And again, pressure from UCU forces Nabisunsa to turn over the ball. These are the moments that you feel that they need to make sure that when they have the ball, they manage it well. Saima shoots from downtown, but then the ball is well rebounded by Nabisunsa. Joy Auma drives all the way, but then she's fouled by Sylvia Nachituka, and Joy Auma will go to the free throw line.
As in, she really grown in this basketball game from the time we started mentioning her name. She's a player that was resting the likes of Namale Sarah, if you recall.
Yeah, she was back up.
Nabisunsa side.
Yeah.
And now to see the kind of growth in her ball game, that this drive that has forced a foul against the Lady Cannons, you could see her looking around to see, do I have teammates ahead of me, or can I take it on by myself? And she did take it on by herself. She misses the foul shots, but I like the way that she recognizes that I cannot make this pass; it will quickly be stolen. All I have to do is get to the foul line and try and get the buckets from that.
Good interplay here by UCU, but then the ball is lost by Zoe. Susa now on the quick break. Can they get to finish? Still can't get it. Abby Faith Musimenta tries to gather, but then she attempted mid-range jump shot. She just couldn't get the ball to drop. I can bet, Gloria, that come the second quarter, this Nabisunsa team is likely to be facing a totally different UCU team, especially looking at the points difference between the two sides.
Oh yeah, There could be a change in all 5 from the Lady Cannons bench.
Yikiru just can't finish. Another opportunity lost by Nabisunsa.
I think that was brilliantly done by Yikiru, much as she didn't convert the back. Saima shows her how it clearly should be done off the glass and into the net from Christine Saima, who gets a rare start for this UCU Lady Cannon side. But that I like what they're doing now, Nabisunsa, trying to create for themselves, taking on those one-on-one challenges. Again, the ball intercepted on that attempt from Abby Faith from the corner, the baseline, 2 points. She's still trying to find her rhythm when it comes to shooting the 2-point shots. Maybe in second, third, and fourth quarters, she'll get those 2-point shots to drop.
Yeah, you feel that there's a bit of a rush on her side as she tries to take those shots. She doesn't measure the weight of the shot well as changes are made. Sasha is introduced by the UCU Lady Cannon shot number 7, as well as Ciela. Now look at that ball as Sasha gets a pass from the Nabisunsa and Ciela Igraneza. Buries the bucket. Now those are the kind of mistakes that you don't expect Nabisunsa to be making at this level.
Of course. Not the best of inbounds for them, and the ball was stolen, and another quick 2 points by the Lady Cannons.
Sasha with a quick pass to find Ciela, but Ciela couldn't keep that ball on. We have 1 minute and 43 seconds left on the clock. And Nabisunsa trailing by 15 points, Gloria.
Not a good start for them. But of course, we mentioned UCU Lady Cannons being very intentional in how they are playing this game. They're not leaving anything to chance against the Nabisunsa side, because you don't want to be the one that is chasing a ball game against the youngsters who are the Nabisunsa squad. But also, I think these players from the Lady Cannons, the fact that they've been on the bench for majority of the games, now they are trying to prove themselves in this fixture that yeah, we can take on any opponent.
Opportunity for Nabisunsa to get at least a bucket before the close of the quarter. But still, even the layups are proving to be a problem, as we've just seen there. Missed opportunity there by Esther Nalule, shot number 21 for Nabisunsa.
She's one of those that has a bit of size, her length, for the Nabisunsa team. But I don't think she's been taken through the mechanics of finishing on that last play. We saw close to the rim, but the way in which she released the basketball, you could not see that spin that normally players use to get it either off the window or just make a swish and finish off the two.
Clearly. And then an attempt there by Joy Auma finds Abby Faith Musimenta from downtown, but still the ball just won't drop. Sasha dishes, finds Ciela with a jump shot. Makes it 25-8. It probably could be one of the best quarters that the UCU have had in the division so far, looking at the number of points that they've scored.
Yeah, very high scoring quarter for the UCU Lady Cannons, who forced another turnover on the inbound. Nabisunsa again unable to get the ball successfully on the court. They turn it over.
Sasha finds her range with a 3 right at the buzzer, getting the UCU Lady Cannons into that first quarter break, leading 28-8.
Are they trying to put out a statement there that you scored 97 in your video, the team that holds the record, and we are going to break it and break it on you guys in particular?
Yeah, because if they maintain this scoring of 25 points at least on average in every quarter, then there is every opportunity for the UCU Lady Cannons to get to 100 points.
Oh yes, the way they are playing, I mean, they're really showing that that game against the Lady Jaguars that they lost, that was their last appearance here at the indoor arena, the UCU Lady Cannons. So they're showing that that was a mistake. We lost by the 4 points, and now anyone who comes in our path, they are wary of the fire that we bring, because they are trying to exert themselves after going undefeated, and eventually that game they lost it to the Lady Jaguars. So they are trying to bring back that performance for themselves. And I mean, we always talk about their coaching staff saying that most of the wins that they registered in this first round were ugly wins. So maybe this is not one of those. This might not appear as one of those because they are playing very good pressure defense, forcing the turnovers on Nabisunsa. Maybe you might say, is this a worthy opponent that you can measure them? But I think they're doing a good job pressuring the ball on Nabisunsa and also running in transition, buckets being finished off by the players off the bench. A rare start for players like Christine Saima, and she has really shown the coach that, yeah, I can come off the bench, I can be productive, I can be impactful for the Lady Cannons. Of course, sitting out star players, that's also something else to consider for the Lady Cannons. I think a blessing for Nabisunsa, because can you imagine who would have been charged to guard the likes of Anyango Martina?
Yeah,
exactly. If you are Nabisunsa, that would have been a total mismatch.
Yeah, exactly. I think when you're a coach of Nabisunsa at this point, when you're playing against a team that is as strong as UCU Lady Cannons, I think the biggest fulfillment would be trying to measure up and reduce the damage that UCU can.
Yeah.
I know there's always that instinct that we've always got to go for every game and try and win it. But to be realistic, it's a hard ball game for them. It's just not in the realm of thought that they can beat the UCU Lady Cannons out of the quality that they have, the experience and all that.
Yeah, but even just to add, I mean, we talked about that lull in competition, in competitiveness for Nabisunsa. They've not been active in a while, so that, of course, for me, I think is another thing to consider if you're trying to weigh the options on whether they can pick up a W against the UCU Lady Cannons. So I don't think the weather doesn't really show a W for them. Yeah. But like you said, it's just about controlling what the scoreline reads.
Yeah.
You can lose by 2 points.
Yeah,
Nabisunsa has lost games. Yeah, they've lost the 7 games, only picked up that 1 win, but they haven't been blowout wins for their opponents. So maybe that's something they can also consider tonight.
I think for as the second quarter begins here at the LUGOGO Indoor Stadium, it's more of a learning platform for Nabisunsa as Mariam Namukwaya attempts a 3 there for UCU, and then Melissa Kisache trying to drive in there, but then there's a travel violation on her part.
Yeah, she thought she had a teammate ahead and she picked up the ball quite early. She hadn't really settled into making the drive herself, so she ended up taking an extra step and committing a travel.
And Nantongo attempts there, but the mid-range jumper didn't drop. Nabisunsa bring it under control. Can they get anything from this move? Continue to share the ball. Joy Auma attempts, but then the shot doesn't drop. And now it's Abigail Mpoza attempts from downtown, but still doesn't drop. Just bounces off the iron. It's well rebounded there by Nachitukasi, and then there's a push there by Joy Auma. That should be a second foul. That was a push on Sylvia Nantong. I guess now, if it is actually, it is a second foul, then I think this is the moment where she's going to be withdrawn, because Nabisunsa would be affected significantly if she was ejected for having getting to the limit of 5.
And you could see clearly she was aware that wasn't a foul that she should have given up trying to guard Nantongo Sylvia, because the pass was coming in. I think she wanted to time it and get ahead of it, but she was late. You could see her grimacing as the whistle went, because she knew, I've given away a foul, I shouldn't have done so. As another 3 ball from Mariam Asasha, once again another player off the bench for the Lady Cannons. But just going back to Auma Joy, the foul that she gave away, the coach opts to keep her on because I think he reads into the fact that she's aware shouldn't have picked up foul number 2, so she'll try to limit picking up a 3rd.
Melissa Kisache, and then the pass there to Joy Auma, but then good block coming in from Ciela Igiraneza. And at the YMCA, it is the KIU Rangers against the JKL Lady Dolphins. And with 40 seconds left on the first quarter, it is 8 apiece.
Quite surprising. I am surprised.
Yeah, of course. Being
KIU has limited them to just 8 points, the defending champions.
Exactly. And it seems like, again, For the JKL, they have a 6 women rotation.
Wow.
From what I can see here. Now Susa finally get to score their first bucket of the second quarter through Melissa Chisache, shot number 11.
A 3-ball. First 3-point shot for the Navisunsa side, and it is through Chisache Melissa. The attempt from top of the key for Nantongo Sylvia just rolls out. Also trying to cancel out that 3-ball by by Melissa of Navisunsa.
Yeah, exactly. Pressure from Asacha on Abigail. Melissa is right there. She directs another attempt there. And Abigail, the shot is short, but she has a second bite to the cherry. Now she finds Yikiru, but then the shot just bounces off the iron and goes straight out. She was in a good position to sink that 3, Yikiru.
Oh, yeah.
Martha.
They really are fancying their chances shooting that 3-ball. The extra pass is what I like about. I was just talking about those intangibles. Those are some of those things that don't appear on the stat line, and I think Navisunsa holds a lot of them. They are unselfish kind of play. We saw those different passes. Eventually, the attempt did not drop, but lots of unselfish play amongst the players from Navisunsa.
Well, the interesting thing, Gloria, is that just drawing you off this game and looking at the game ahead between UCU Lady Cannons on Friday and the JK Lady Dolphins. Now, this game was supposed to be held 2 weeks ago. You remember?
Yes.
And then it was called off because of Eid celebrations. Now, at the time, JKL had a full strength squad.
Yes.
Now,
6 ladies.
You see how that change could easily affect the quality of basketball who could have got from that game.
I agree with you. Totally. I don't know what the solution is from the JKL Lady Dolphins as Sasha gets another 3-ball. That's her 3rd one in the game. How efficient is she tonight? She's attempted thrice and all have been baskets from the 3-point line.
Quite impressive. So you are still talking about that clash.
I was just saying, I wonder what JKL Lady Dolphins are doing to try, and I don't know if they'll be able to have those players available for them.
Yeah.
Highly unlikely, but maybe
Shadia Nasanga is away.
In Singapore.
Yeah, for the netball championships.
Yeah.
And then,
will it have concluded by Friday?
No, not that. She's away for some time. Because she's got a contract for some time. But
Evelyn
then also, Evelyn
also
has a contract
away. Somewhere that she is serving.
Yeah, so she's also traveling away. Brenda Akon is injured.
Yeah.
Now, Melissa Taliba missed on the weekend
because of the school's games. School's basketball was happening at the time. Maybe she'll be available on Friday.
Possibly.
And maybe, I think, because Akon Brenda has had an opportunity to sit out a couple of games. This is the 3rd. If she doesn't play tonight, this will be the 3rd that she rests out. Maybe, depending on her condition, health-wise.
I talked to.
They might have to
I actually talked
game.
to the club director, Freedom, on Sunday, and he said no, she's not yet due back.
Not yet.
She's not yet.
It'll take a while.
Yeah, it will take a while.
Okay.
She's still recovering from the injuries she sustained after that horror attack.
So maybe the 6 women army just might put up a fight, including Taliba. We're thinking.
Make it 7.
Yeah, to make it 7.
Hopefully. But you still think that it will be such a stretch. You're taking on a team that is armed to the teeth as UCU. It would be very difficult for JKL. Melissa Chisache attempts from downtown and she's fouled by Sylvia Nantongo. She seems to have the confidence to shoot from downtown. I
thought so too. Very daring shot attempt there from Melissa. The step back 3 right in the face of Nantongo Sylvia, who was contesting a very tough shot. But like you said, she has that confidence, and it's good confidence if you're a player, because definitely you get creative with your game. The next possession, she'll get creative.
And she does well from the free throw line, making it 12 points to Nabisunsa. Coming off the bench.
She has 4 points on that conversion.
Wow, makes it 13. Those are 5 points to her. Coming off the bench, that's quite impressive.
Yep.
Although the gap is still a huge one between them and the UCU. And she completes her 3 free throws with 6 minutes to play in the quarter. Changes made here by the UCU Lady Cannons, bringing back Zoe Atek, and Sarah Namale gets
I was waiting
her
to
first
see.
moment in the game.
I was waiting to see if she's going to be go soft on her former side, or she's going to go as physical and as aggressive as she has been against different opponents when the Lady Cannons are in action.
Well, I think you would expect that Sarah Namale should be soft on her former teammates.
Yeah, I think
but
so.
you doubt. Being an athlete, they are always very competitive. They always want to win. Abigail looks for the pass to Yikiru. Melissa Chisache drops on the iron. That could have been a good three again.
Oh yeah. Again, great ball sharing by Nabisunsa before that shot attempt from Akisache.
Sylvia Nachichuka attempts, I guess, a bit of a desperate attempt there. Abigail Mpoza now needs the support of teammates. They provide themselves indeed. Melissa, good combination with, tries to find Ikiru. They seem to want to find Melissa at the 3-point line, and then 10 from downtown, ball bounces off the iron. This time it was off Regina Apio there. There's actually also good support play coming in now from Tracy Amela, shot number 7. But then as they defended, they fouled, and Nachibuka Doreen goes to the free throw line for the UCU Lady Cannons. Yeah,
first foul on Abigail Mpoza as they were trying to slow down that fast break transition by the UCU Lady Cannons before fouling Doreen Nachibuka, who is now at the foul line, gets her first point coming off the bench. She did step on with Sarah Namale, so she gets that one from the foul line for the UCU Lady Cannons.
It's now the regular season MVP 2025 in Abigail Mpoza. Tracy Amela tries to find Ikiru, but then the ball is stolen. Good defending by Sylvia Nachituka. Sarah Namale finds Zoe. Nachibuka Doreen shoots, but then ball is well rebounded by Nabisunsa, but they still can't keep ball. Good sharing there by UCU, but I guess again a bit clumsy there in the way they were passing.
Yeah, but I think the last pass from Nachibuka to try and find Giraneza was so strong. All he needed was a soft pass for her to just roll it up and get the 2 points.
Again, Martha Ikiru still struggling to find her first bucket, but then they survive seeing the lead extend through Sarah Namale as she misses her layup there too. I don't know whether Sarah Namale, or you know, when you're playing against your former teammates, I don't know whether it's a bit difficult that you tend to start the game with a bit of remorse and sympathy for your former teammates.
I mean, wouldn't you? How many years did she play on this side?
Yeah, so many years.
The team that exposed her to get that call up to the under 18, to get that signature gotten by the UCU Lady Cannons. I mean, so many years with them.
Namale blocked there by Ikiru Martha. There was some football there by both teams, but the first infringement came from the UCU Lady Cannons. So it's a ball to Nabisusa, but then Abigail Mpoza is withdrawn.
Yeah, I was just thinking she's yet to get into that MVP rhythm that we know her for. A bucket getter, that is Abigail Mpoza. So I guess for the coaches, they just want to have a word with her and also give her an opportunity to watch the game, because sometimes when you're on the side and you're watching, the next time you step up, you do something different, because you're looking and you're seeing what are the options the opponent is providing for you, but also how can I help my team. Because I think in these 2 quarters, Abigail Mpoza, this we haven't seen her at 100% yet. She's given us so far what I would say 50, maybe 45%
of her ability.
Yeah.
Well, I think also sometimes it depends on the opposition. If the opposition is thwarting you as much as UCU is thwarting the Nabisunsa players, I think sometimes your performance can go a bit down. You can see some of those UCU players in conversation. Actually, a lot more that are not playing today.
Widi Maria as well, right next to Martina Anyango. Looks like the whole front court in that picture.
And I think it's also Sharifa as well.
Would you consider that? Yes, it's positive. Yes, when you have players you can call on any time, because we just talked about that JKL Lady Dolphins, what is affecting them currently, what they are going through, and because of a thin roster, so now they're relying on just 6 players. But as a coach, I was just asking you before we return to finish the final 3 minutes, if you're coach Nicholas Nachereza, do you think, is that something that you think works in your favor, or it's something that is going to test you as a coach to have a flurry of players, good players like the Lady Cannons?
No, of course, in a way, it's a good headache to have, the selection. But I'm sure that for Coach Nick, he wants the situation that he has at UCU, because it raises the level of competition for places. Because now when you have so many good players, they're going to be competing for places, and that raises the level of performance from your team.
Yeah,
but I'm sure that
I like that you use good headache, the word headache.
Yeah. But he knows his best 5. As Melissa gets herself another bucket, takes her tally to 7 points. It's actually 8 points now, Melissa. Auma Joy still can't get the shot to drop. Now Melissa finds Tracy Amela. Auma Joy tries to find a pass into Nale Esther, but then they're caught by the shot clock.
Yeah, I think they were urging Auma Joy to be the one to take the attempt, so that at least they can scuffle for the rebound.
As a travel. I just don't think that Sarah Namale has had a good game yet. Yeah,
well, we were just mentioning Abigail Poza, but I think on the bright side, Abigail, who has 6 points, at least has done some damage for the Navisunsa side. For Sarah Namale, she's yet to score.
Yeah, but Namale has been missing in quite a number of games of late.
Yeah.
If you look back,
she's, I think, one of those that has been affected by the rotations from the coach.
Yeah, because I don't even think she played against the Getty Jaguars.
No, she didn't.
But
play
even
in that
before,
one.
she did not play a couple of games there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that has something to do with her form as well, because she's not been playing well the times that she's been brought on court. Because remember the game we did commentary here, where she made a number of turnovers in the first quarter and she had to be taken off, and I think she returned in the third quarter. Yeah,
and going back to what you were talking about, having a roster that is so deep like the Lady Cannons, for Namale, look at the position, the players she's competing with for minutes on court. You're talking about Maria Widi, you're talking about Martina Anyango, you're talking about Nantongo Sylvia, you're talking about Zoe Atek right there, her teammate currently. So I guess, like you say, she hasn't brought that competitive edge that these 4, the position she's vying for, are bringing.
Yeah, and of course she has got to step up, because if you're playing in a side that is so competitive, the last thing you can do is, get your foot off the pedal and you start relenting. You lose your place in the team before you know it. You're really down the pecking order.
And we've seen how much Zoe Atek has improved.
Exactly. Attempt there by Sylvia Nachituka, bounces off the iron. All gathered by Abby Faith Musimenta. Auma Joy. It's a trouble by not a trouble, but a foul by Nachibuka. It's actually Saima Christine. Saima Christine picks up her first personal foul. And then Absusa again lose the ball. Saima Christine will go to a quick break, and she misses the layup, but picking the rebound is Doreen Nachibuka, who saves her blushes.
Yeah, she actually gives her a thumbs up to say, I got your back. Good read from Saima Christine on that play to read into the pass, get the steal. And of course for Doreen Nachibuka, just staying on hand to pick the rebound and finish off the 2 points. Sarah Namale picking the foul. We're just talking about her struggling on the offensive end, but also on defense. She's late closing out on that lane, and she picks up her first personal foul on Navisunsa's Josephine Akiteng. That is donning the jersey number 16.
as Yukiru is brought back on court. Martha in place of Tracy Amela, shot number 7. Akiteng gets 1 of 2 from the free throw line with 49 seconds left. Zoe finds Doreen Nachibuka, drives in, but then she's fouled by Yukiru. And I guess Yukiru did not even complain one bit. I guess she knew what she had done. That's
She's quickly raising her hand to signal that it is my blocking foul. But that drive from Doreen Nachibuka, I like that. Uses the pick quite effectively. And even when she picked up the basketball, she knew somebody was going to try and strip it out of her hands. You see her literally hugging the ball to avoid any chances of losing it on her way to the rim.
UCU now on 40 points with 31 seconds to play. Nabisunsa, I'm sure, will aim to get at least to the 20-point mark. Joya Uma now, and that's a good play there by Yukiru.
Great relocation on the court by Yukiru Martha, who gets the bucket of the pass.
It's going to be a jump ball there.
Saima doesn't seem amused that it was called as a jump ball. She thought possibly it could have been a foul called against Nabisunsa.
Joya Uma attempts from downtown as the time runs out. Have about 3 or 2 seconds to go. And time runs out as Doreen Nachibuka was trying to shoot from downtown. At the end of the second quarter, as we go into that 10-minute break, the UCU Lady Cannons are in cruise control.
Oh yes, 15 points from the turnovers committed by their opponents, Nabisunsa. So those 15s contributing to the 40-point score that they've put up against Nabisunsa in this first half of the ball game. But I think Nabisunsa has pretty much warmed up. The Cannons had 28 points in the first quarter, but now just 12 in the second. A much better defensive stop from Nabisunsa, although they themselves just 11 compared to the 12 that the Lady Cannons have been able to score. But I guess being out of action for 3+ weeks, returning against a giant that the Lady Cannons, not the best of scenarios if you are Nabisunsa, but I think they are warming up. Maybe we'll see more rhythm from them. Like I said, they are not a team that has lost by blowout points. So definitely we'll see a different read on the scoreline.
Yeah, but it's a long time that we saw a game get into that halftime break in the women's division with one team leading with 40 points. I guess you can see that UCU seem to be on course for such a heavy win this evening. We're going to take a break and we'll be back on NBS Sport for the second half of Nabisunsa against the UCU Lady Cannons. Welcome back to the LUGOGO Indoor Stadium as the third quarter is loading between the UCU Lady Cannons in white and Nabisunsa in blue. At halftime, as you can see on our screen, Nabisunsa 19, UCU 40 points. Quite dominant performance from UCU Lady Cannons. John Vian Simbe, your commentator, and alongside me is Gloria Chomgisha. Gloria, do you think the tide to change in the second half for Nabisunsa, or it's more or less going to be the same?
Looks like it might more or less be the same for Nabisunsa. If they cannot convert, we just saw them have an opportunity to start off the third quarter with a bucket. They failed to do so, and they returned.
A third foul.
Now that's a delicate situation for the Nabisunsa side. If Auma Joy picks up her thigh, because she's the player they rely on in the front court, because the back court they have Abigail Mpoza. So when it comes to rebounding and things like that, cleaning up, doing the dirty work down there, it's Auma Joy who does that for them, because at least she's tested and she has that energy. Of course, we saw Nalule, who was on earlier, but you saw that she's not that strong to shake off players like Nachituka, players like Zoe Atek, like Nantongo. But now that Auma picks up that third, I don't think the coaches should risk leaving her on the floor.
Yeah, I'm thinking that they probably will think of taking her off, and that's another foul by Apio Regina on Zoe Atek, and two quick fouls and two shooting fouls by the way. Already Nabisunsa with so many mistakes being made. That cannot be good for their cause.
Oh yeah, they are not closing out in time defensively on Zoe Atek, who you see is utilizing that middle lane to get her drive.
And I think it goes back to the point you made earlier on, that the fact that Nabisunsa has not been playing for some time, they've lost a bit of that touch.
Yeah, the momentum.
And the coordination that you normally get from continuous play.
Yeah,
because you can see that there are so many errors that you would ordinarily not be expecting them to commit.
So yeah, we've not seen them commit such errors. I think for them tonight it's like a redo, a restart on their regular season.
Yeah.
If you've sat out all those weeks and yet your opponents
17 days
have been
in action.
Yeah.
Nabisunsa, of course, on 19 points. The first attempt comes in from Abigail, but well rebounded by Najuko. Now Sylvia Nantongo drives in, but then the finish just not good. But then she picks her own rebound, but this time the ball is taken over by Regina Pio. Good defending by Nabisunsa there. Get that shot on to drop, but then it's an air ball. This time again, been their story by and large on Nabisunsa in this game. Air ball by Agava Sharifa, who didn't play any part in the first half.
Yeah, this is the first time she gets on court for Nabisunsa. Agava Sharifa with the side step 3. I don't know why they don't want to drive in, why they are afraid to drive in.
That's
I don't
Nabisunsa?
Yeah. I don't know. For me, I believe their strength is in the drive.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
I don't know whether
being young players, I always think they have faster feet.
Yeah.
So they okay, not.
Are they
leave
afraid
alone
of
being
going
young
one-on-one with the UCU players?
Maybe looks like it.
Maybe they don't want to get into contact.
Yeah, maybe they're avoiding the contact, because leave alone being young players. But I always believe the drive will give you an opportunity to score, because you can pick up a foul that will send you to the foul line, and those are free buckets.
Yikiru, very good pass to Agava Sharifa. Now Abi Faith Musimenta finds Yikiru again, spins and turns, and she buries the bucket with a mid-range jumper, taking her tally to 4 points. That is Martha Yikiru of Nabisunsa. Shot number 10. That was good play by Yikiru, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, the shoulder shake. She indeed faked Nantongo Sylvia right there in your picture. She was playing defense on Yikiru before she converted that perimeter shot. As the whistle is blown, late whistle, I thought, on that advanced pass from Najuko into the running Nantongo Sylvia, who was pushed trying to finish off the 2 points.
Yeah. They're picking up so many fouls early, and I think that's not going to help their cause. They've got to try and play smart.
That's a third team foul in the early minutes of the third quarter for Nabisunsa.
43 points Actually 45 now. 45 points for the UCU Lady Cannons, 21. Nabisunsa. Yikiru is intended pass there from Abi Faith Musimenta was well blocked there by Christine Saima. Saima with a 3 ball and she sinks it, makes it 48.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Doesn't show any celebratory signs. Yeah. Saima Christine dropping that 3 ball for the Lady Cannons.
And that's a 3 from Abigail Mposa. Good pass coming in from Yikiru Martha, shot number 10. She's also now trying to help her team with the assist. And good execution there by Abigail Mposa. Well, the indoor seems to be getting louder as Zoe Atek misses a layup. That's quite unusual. And there's a real battle between Sylvia Nantongo and Regina Apio.
Jump ball call there. Battle for the basketball between Nabisunsa and Sylvia Nantongo over the Lady Cannons results into a jump ball call. Will be possession for Nabisunsa. They're now settling for a little bit better, moving the ball better, the rotations offensively, the relocations of the players to try and get the open looks. But that pass, not the best of decisions coming in from
the idea
Yikiru.
Was right, but the execution
was a bit too high on that play.
Not just a bit, it was really high for Musementa Abifaith. Yeah. Now Saima Christine with a spin there, but finds Zoe. Najuko and Sylvia Nantongo. Najuko tries to come in to support. Sylvia Nantongo again picks a rebound, second time, third time, still can't finish. Good defending by Nabisunsa. Now Saima with another 3.
Yeah, she says that should quieten everything down. You guys should calm down. I have this as she gets another 3 ball. Christine Saima, top of the key, to drop for the Lady Cannons after 3 offensive rebounds by her teammate Nantongo Sylvia. But also rare to see her missing from that range, Nantongo Sylvia.
Abigail Mposa, and then there is a foul. A needless foul by Yikiru Martha. I don't think she needed to really go into that reaching. That's a second personal foul.
That's the 4th team foul now for Nabisunsa in the 3rd quarter.
Sharifa Agaba seems like she's going to be rested. Shot number 20 for Nabisunsa, as there is a timeout that is called. The thing that I find interesting is how Coach Emmanuel Chigui goes onto the court to pick the players for the timeout. What is that? Such an interesting character,
you
Coach
never
Emmanuel
understand
Chigui.
The ways of
Coach Chigui.
That's a puzzle you'll never solve.
Or maybe he feels that if he doesn't rush to get onto the court,
they'll take their
time. He may forget his point. All the players were going to be slacken as they walk towards the bench.
They're catwalking to the bench, and his point is wasting away.
So he went and picked them on court. He's such an enthusiastic character for a coach. He really hates to lose. Of course, not that his boss is any different. Nick Natuhereza.
Yeah.
He's proven that over years, and that's possibly the reason why he's built so many championship winning sides.
But is it surprising as we look at the hurdle for the UCU Lady Cannons, and also just looking at the statistics, their leading scorer currently is Christine Saima. Just buried another 3 ball in the 3rd quarter. For me, the surprise is in Mariam Namukwaya, who has played 18 minutes and has not put up a bucket yet for the Lady Cannons.
Yes, I understand why
is it one of those
because she's one of those very big scorers.
Yeah, she had 17 in their last game
against the JT Lady Jaguars. But you see, the thing is this, Gloria. You see, even for players, the psychology of the game, and I'm sure she's about to respond.
I spoke to Ali.
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, she was standing right beside the court where we are doing commentary. She had you.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it's also very easy for players to be less motivated for a clash against a team that they know that they are surely better than.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen. I don't know if you get what I mean.
It's bound to happen, yeah. And I guess she opted into the facilitating role because she had players like Saima and Nachibuka who were running ahead of the ball. so clearly giving the pass away, which are areas where she plays. But now you have Saima, who is also running much like her and can easily score.
And that's Mariam Namukwaya attempting again. I'm sure you look at even a player like Najuko Hajara, and I'm sure she's not going to be pressing so hard against Nabisusa, because that's Najuko shot 12 for UC, because of the experience she has. She's right there rebounding the ball. But I'm sure that Saima, because it is a big opportunity for her to be playing for UCU, there is that urge to try and impress the coach a lot more than maybe the players that have won, because Najuko has won a championship before. She's been at UCU for a very long time. Yeah. So
and she'll always be the player in the rotation.
It's not the kind of game where it is that or nothing.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of mentality I'm sure that she comes with.
No, absolutely not. I mean, of course, you give an example, a correct example in Saima, who now for her it's about showing the coach, anytime you give me a chance, this is what I'm going to do for the team.
Good pass there by Saima to find Najuko, who was shadowing Abi Faith Musibenta and just cut inside. Now Auma Joy need the support of her teammates there. Melissa Chisache with a good floater there as they introduce passionate Elizabeth Nakalembe, shot number 14 for the Nabisusa.
She used to be a starter, Elizabeth
last
Nakalembe.
Season. I remember she played some really key roles in some of the games last season, and that was very high pass from Melissa Kisache. Well, the scoreline still a very comfortable one for UCU on 55 points. Sarah Namale against her former teammates. She gets her first bucket eventually.
Oh, yeah. Good post move there from Sarah Namale. The one-on-one challenge presenting itself, but also Mariam Namrekwaya recognizing that it was just a one-on-one for her teammate Namale, who gets her first bucket.
Melissa Chisache, she's proven to be the go-to woman for this Nabisusa team. She scored a team high 12 points as Namale misses her second would-be bucket. Auma is a blocking foul by Christine Saima on Auma Joy. So it's going to be a shooting foul.
Yeah, she thought she would pick up the basketball before Auma Joy had a chance to gather it right below on the dribble. But of course, Auma Joy, a bit stronger, had already picked up the basketball, forcing Saima to pick up that personal foul, her first personal foul, and sending Joy to the free throw line for Nabisusa. Third missed free throw by Auma Joy. She missed 2 in the first quarter. This is her first visit at that foul line in the third quarter, and still yet to get it to go. She gets the second one.
Yeah, and that's 3 points to Auma Joy. She's normally in big figures for Nabisusa, but not today against a very strong UCU side. As Sasha returns, shot number 7 for UCU. Yeah, she is. As Sasha finds the pass there to find Najuko Hajara, who's blocked there.
I don't think Hajara Najuko expected that touch on the basketball.
I'm sure she did not.
By Josephine Akiteng. Yeah. Good racing to close out defensively by Akiteng. She gets her first block in the game on the short attempt from Najuko Hajara.
Sarah Namale can't finish there. She had such an impressive move there. Akiteng from downtown. After the block, she turns the tide and goes on the other side and buries a 3 ball, bringing Nabisusa to 32 points. Pressure on Igiraneza as well as Doreen Nachibuka. Now Sarah Namale receives the pass from Najuko, but then she seems to be signaling for a foul.
Yeah, she was trying to say that there was a hold on her arm on that post play defensively from Nabisusa.
Auma Joy with a euro there, but then Coach Nick is not happy about the call. He thinks that there was a travel before, and he thinks that there was a fair contest from his player, other than it being a judge as a foul.
Yeah, for the first time, actually, I agree with him. I thought Igiraneza had a clean block on that release from Auma Joy. She's been called for a blocking foul, but if you take a look at the replay, I thought she clearly had a blocked the basketball.
Auma Joy's tally goes to 5, just like the back of her jersey. Igiraneza now one-on-one with Melissa Chisache. That's a foul by Auma Joy. Now that's her 4th personal foul. I guess he's a bit careless as well as a player.
Yeah.
Or does it come with being?
But is it the first time we see her getting into foul trouble?
No, because she should know the situation that she's in, and she should get away from situations where she's supposed to be doing the defending and let the others take the fouls. And now she's gone back to the bench.
Yeah, she's got to go back to the bench. 4th personal foul for Joy Auma on that reaching. The drive by Hajara Najuko, who is now at the free throw line for the Lady Cannons. Like, you're right, that shouldn't have been Auma Joy helping on that defensive end. But because she was the one next in line as Hajara took the drive, she makes both at the line. She was the one next in line. I guess she thought she would clearly snatch the basketball out of Najuko's hands.
Akiteng finds Melissa Chisache, who attempts again. She's been doing well from that range. And this time it doesn't drop. Yikiru receives the pass again. And there is a travel there by Melissa Chisache.
Good player, now on a scholarship at Nabisunsa. She was at Iganga Girls Secondary.
She's one of their latest recruits.
Yeah, playing her first season with Nabisunsa.
And clearly you can understand why Nabisunsa sought her services, because she's a good player, really. Sarah Namale, good pass coming in from Igiraneza.
Yeah. They ran a great high pick and roll. They took 2. Igiraneza recognizing Sarah Namale's dive to the rim and easily bouncing it into her.
Passionate Elizabeth shoots, but the ball just bounces off the iron, and great rebound there. And Sarah Namale, as Sasha couldn't go past Melissa. Melissa good defending. Sarah Namale, if she overplayed the ball and it went off her last into touch, or is it a UC?
Off Melissa. Off Kisache Melissa. On Sarah Namale's play to finish off for the UCU Lady Cannons. So last touch of Nabisunsa will be an inbound for the UCU Lady Cannons.
Well, the Namongo Blazers fans already in-house waiting for their team's game. That should be coming on right after this one, as good rebound there from Sarah Namale takes her tally now to 6 points. Good contribution in the 3rd quarter. She stepped up. Abigail Mpoza is back on court now. Attempt there coming in from Akiteng. Just bounces off the iron. Sasha with the long pass to find Doreen Nachibuka. And now Igiraneza with the mid-range jump shot.
Very unselfish play there from Nachibuka Doreen. She's closed off defensively, but looks around, and eventually she has the open hands of her teammate Igiraneza, who gets the mid-range for the Lady Cannons.
Melissa Chisache. Nikiru finds Akiteng, shoots, but the ball bounces off the iron. Can they keep the ball on? And you thought that she should have done better there. But then she gave the ball away to UC. Doreen Chibuka is fouled by Akiteng right at the buzzer. I would imagine she'll go to the free throw line. Or doesn't it count?
Nachibuka seems to be disappointed as she gets to realize that the basket didn't stand. She thought she had converted and also gotten the foul on Josephine Akiteng. So of course Igiraneza told her the ball rolled out of the rim.
Yeah.
You could see that pain, the look of pain on her face. But yeah, the foul counts, much as the buzzer sounded. It will be 2 free throws for Doreen Nachibuka.
I think Nabisunsa, for all intents and purposes, should be proud of themselves.
I think so too.
Against a UCU side that is really stocked with quality, and you can get yourself 34 buckets. I think for a high school team, they're already punching above their weight.
And they've held their ground, yeah. They've really held their ground. But also we did mention them not winning in blowout games. They've lost, but they've not been blown out, which is, I think, something that they are drilled into. It's a culture. You're going to score, but I'm also going to try and score. That is why I said they are a high offensive side, the Navisunsa squad. We've not seen them get in rhythm because in that game where they put up the 97 points, they had 8 3-point shots converted in that game. And tonight they've only had just the 2 against the UCU Lady Cannons. Affecting them has been the fact that they've sat out too long. I'm sure we would have seen a whole different Navisunsa had they been having the back-to-back kind of competitive games.
During that period of 17 days, if they had at least played 3 games.
Yeah, we would have seen a totally different side. The turnovers that they've given away, the cheap passes, not taking care of the basketball, Auma Joy picking up those 4 personal fouls. We wouldn't have been speaking about things like those. But isn't that also
a bit of a concern that fixtures are placed in that kind of manner?
Well, I think they were supposed to play last weekend, but that game was rescheduled because the kids, the Navisunsa requested that they had, because the students had midterm examinations. Okay. So definitely, I guess they shot themselves in the foot, not honoring that fixture, because they should have played on Saturday against Pearl Queens.
Yeah.
Yes, against Pearl Queens. But yes, that would have still been a long way away from when they last featured in active games, from 14th, because last Saturday was what, 28th?
Yeah.
It would have still been a long way for them. But I guess, I don't know if the coaches do voice their concerns like you are asking to the federation, to the technical side of the federation, about the different dates on the fixtures and the gaps that are in there, because we've seen teams play back to back in moments where they shouldn't play Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
You could squeeze in a Navisunsa game.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't think Angels has had a back-to-back.
Yeah. Well, I actually think that for a team like Navisunsa, the best day for them to play should be weekend.
Yes.
Because of the fact that they're high school
classes,
team.
I mean,
so it's on the weekend.
You have a long day of classes.
Yeah.
And then you've got to really run and pick up your kits and get into game mode, because now you have to be transported to the venue where your fixture is being played. So that's really a long day.
And the fourth quarter gets underway here. The UCU Lady Cannons leading 66-34. On the balance of play, Gloria, do you think UCU could get to the 90 points as we had projected?
Yes and no. Yes, I'm waiting to see how they play out this
what has been their average
quarter
through the quarters? Maybe that could give us a picture, because at 66, that means they have to score like 15 buckets.
Highest 2 quarters have been first and third quarter. First quarter 28 points and third quarter 26 points.
That's a good pass coming in from Nachibuka to Sarah Namale. Good spin there, but the finish still short. Was UCU bring on Bridget Kaluma, shot number 19. She's just been introduced in this quarter. To say that on the basis of how they've been scoring, because the second quarter was really low scoring, 12-11. UCU led. Again, they just don't utilize that opportunity in Navisunsa. But then a good steal there coming in from Chisache. And then she can't keep the ball long enough. Bridget Kaluma is fouled.
I like the footwork on Kaluma Bridget. First time I'm seeing her in action for this Lady Cannons side. Good footwork there. She maintained her pivot foot, because could have easily been called for a travel violation had she opted to go up for the basket. Maintained her pivot foot, got an extra dribble in to shake the defense of Navisunsa, and attempted to score. Now she's at the line working for her first points, possibly since coming off the bench. She's just been introduced. One more player left on that Lady Cannons bench to get some bit of action.
Genesis Jasiem of Navisunsa, shot number 8, takes the rebound there. She's right there again. They all seem to want to find Kisachi.
She's their leading scorer.
Yeah, exactly. Yukiru now. Akiteng off the glass. But then good rebound by Asasha. Good defending by Abigail Mposa, but then foul on Bridget Kaluma. She'll also go to the free throw line.
Is there a relation with the one and only Arthur Kaluma?
I don't know.
She almost played like him on that putback. Strong on the rebound, and got her first 2 points for the UCU Lady Cannons.
I'm sure that must be really quite exciting on her part, the fact that she's got her first bucket.
Yeah, if you're coming off the bench and you're a player who has rarely seen the court, if you're from the Lady Cannons, you would want at least, by the time you go into the locker room and the coaches are reading out statistics, your name is also mentioned on those statistics.
Actually, this is her second bucket in the season.
Imagine.
Yeah. Second bucket in the season.
Averaging how many minutes?
Because this is her second game.
Yeah.
Previous game she played 6 minutes. Sasha shoots, but then this time Maria Masasha is not successful from downtown. There's a bit of urgency coming from the UCU. I don't know whether they are thinking about what you've been talking about all along.
Getting to the 100 points. Maybe. You don't know a team's plans when they're coming into a game. As Abigail Mposa gets another 3-ball, second 3 for her, for Nabisunsa.
I'm sure they would really want to get to maybe 50 points, Nabisunsa. Sarah Namale with a 3-ball, but then it's an air ball. Nabisunsa still trailing by 33 points. Such a big lead that we see as well. Auma Joy finds Akiteng, but Akiteng can't keep the ball in.
Would have been a very good pass. Had it been secured by Akiteng Josephine right there off Nabisunsa on the baseline. Auma Joy on the high post looking out for any cutters, and Josephine Akiteng was right there but couldn't gather the basketball.
And now Kaluma Bridget shoots, and then the ball just bounces off the iron. She had set herself up well for that 3-ball. The corner 3. Now Abigail puts out another 3, but then just bounces off the iron as Kaluma picks it up but doesn't gather it for long. It's stolen by Nabisunsa's Chisache Melissa. Auma Joy has got to tread carefully. She's just one foul away from walking. She receives the pass there. Abigail loses the ball. Good steal by Doreen Achibuka of UCU. Igiraneza still can't finish. But she seems to signal to the referee that there was a foul on her.
Really? I thought she would have been the one that was called for the foul because she hooked as she was going on the drive. You could see her forearm extending over the defender. So she hooked the defender, try and get over her. I thought that would have been a foul instead, offensive foul called on her. But I guess the referee decided to let play continue and see what happens.
That pass coming in from Abby Faith, but then the whistle goes for a push. I wonder how Abby Faith manages her hair when she's at school, because that must need some work, don't you think, Gloria?
Such a thick afro puff of hair.
And she must be very passionate about it.
Yeah, by the time
but
it's not
being in
trimmed.
school can be quite engaging. Even Yikiro also has quite the puff.
Interesting, because the years we were there, we were not allowed. It had to be 1 inch, not more than an inch.
You were told to cut it off.
Yeah, not more than an inch. But times change. And I'm happy for the little ladies that they get to grow out their puffs.
Yeah, living through the days of the 1960s. Yeah, I'm sure that Abby Faith would be a contender to act in a movie for the 1960s with that puff that she adorns. Igiraneza finds Nachibuka on the quick break, and it is 7-2 for the UCU.
Nachibuka just enjoying herself in transition for the Lady Cannons as she gets another bucket to drop on that fast break pass from Igiraneza.
Good pass from Akiteng to find a woman, but she can't finish. That was a really heavy layup there. She just needed to weigh the ball better. And there's good interception by Akiteng, but then she loses the ball to Namale. Sasha Mariam lays up. Good play by UCU Lady Cannons.
You could see Auma Joy not wanting to commit. She knows she's tethering on 4 personal fouls, so she just stayed away from that lane and allowed the easy bucket to get converted.
Passionate Elizabeth Nakalembe, not the best of attempts for Nabisunsa. Heavy pass there from Asasha to try and find her teammate in Bridget Kaluma. With the scoreline (37-74), about to get into the 40 points difference.
Well, and that's the last player I was talking about on the bench of the Lady Cannons. Nicholas Natuherez are emptying out each and every one of the players. Last player to check in, Gladys Aya. She's donning the jersey number 20. Plays in the front court, so she comes in to assist the likes of Bridget Kaluma, who has literally enjoyed 4 minutes so far in the game. She has 2 points to her credit, playing in that front court for the UCU Lady Cannons. So all 12 that were registered to play in this fixture tonight for the UCU Lady Cannons have had an opportunity to step on court and also get a feel of the basketball.
Yeah, and I'm sure that for Gladys Aya, playing the last 5 minutes of the game will be quite a milestone for her, but one that should help clear the jitters that she probably could have been feeling coming into the game.
Yeah, she hasn't played a single game in this regular season.
This is first.
This is the first.
Oh yeah, and we congratulate Gladys Aya for making her ball against the Nabisunsa team in the National Basketball League season 2026.
Yeah, also for earning the confidence of the coach, trust and confidence of the coach to allow her a couple of minutes, gets to play maybe the final 5 minutes of the ball game. UCU Lady Cannons comfortably leading against Nabisunsa. Well, they're not the only ones that have used 12 players plus. Even Nabisunsa, Coach Nelson Onyuta, assisted by Albert Achiko, have rotated their roster. All the 12 that came in to play from school have been honored and granted minutes.
Abigail with the 3 ball, bounces off the iron. Ikiru tries to pick the rebound, but Zoe Atek gathers for the UCU. Zoe Atek, the only player more or less on court that is considered among the starting 5 every once in a while for UCU. I guess even Igraneza is probably in the rotation of 8 for UCU.
Yes.
As well as Zoe.
Yeah, Zoe has actually earned herself more or less, she has ingrained her name in there in the top 7 on the rotations for the Lady Cannons.
Yeah, exactly. Abigail finds a woman who drives in, but then she can't finish. Abigail has a mid-range jumper, still can't drop. As Gladys Aya picks the rebound. Still have 3 minutes and 43 seconds to play. Kaluma Bridget drives in, but then tempted floater there just didn't drop.
Good drive from Kaluma Bridget on the baseline. She's attempted the 3 ball didn't drop, so she knows she has to change her game. Goes on a strong drive to the rim, can't get the bucket to drop before a jump ball called on that hustle play between Nabisunsa and the Lady Cannons.
Gladys Aya, before she gets her first points in the National Basketball League this season, she has picked up her first foul. Gladys Aya shot number 20. Melissa with a 3 ball. Good play by Melissa Kisache there. Takes her tally to 15 points. What a performance from the youngster.
Yeah, leading scorer for Nabisunsa, Melissa Kisache with the 3 ball, and the rebound from Awuma Joy. Quickly stolen. Zoe Atek with the steal for the Lady Cannons.
Kaluma. And now Aya, Gladys, before she gathered, she's put under pressure there by Nabisunsa.
I like what Nachivuka is trying to do. Doreen Nachivuka, her teammate, to at least get her to get an applause from the bench. If she can score the basket, Gladys Aya, the jersey 20 of the UCU Lady Cannons. So just trying to make sure that she gets as many touches on the basketball, because I mean the basketball scores. So the more you get to touch the basketball then and also position yourself, the more chances are high for you to get a conversion going.
Yeah, I'm sure that she's feeling a bit nervous. Normally that's the feeling when you're
first time in the
NBL. Exactly, and I'm sure she's been dreaming of the moment, and then she sees this indoor, and it looks like some very gigantic place.
And dream come to life.
Yeah,
now.
exactly. And she's probably read about the stars that have walked on this court, and all that could overwhelm her. And I guess that's the reason why when the pass was coming in, she seemed unready for it.
Yeah, but also even just donning the jersey. For me, I think that is something
because she's not been on the squad before.
No, she hasn't been on the squad before. This is the first time. I'm sure she's on the register, but just wearing the jersey that has that UCU on the front of it, that's an honor if you're a player.
Absolutely.
To get to suit up, and then the bonus comes with the coach getting you on court.
Yeah, absolutely. So now that means that the likes of Martina Anyango, Sheila Lamunu, Sharifa,
they're on holiday.
They are not going to get anything of the bonus.
It depends on how it works out. If the rest of the teammates are willing to share, sharing is caring. Because the bonus only goes to the 12 that have played and the coaching staff.
Exactly.
So if the rest of your teammates want to share, give you 20K here and there, then yeah.
But I'm sure
they have to be nice to the 12.
I'm sure Coach Nick and Coach Iguyi will probably offer their share.
They have to be nice to the 12. Actually, the coaches should give up their share. You're right. Why didn't I think of that?
Igraneza will step back three, but the ball bounces off the iron. Foul there by Aya Gladys. I'm sure she's very anxious to try and get something, but she committed a foul. UCU Cannons are over the limit. Foul on Yikiru. Yikiru has 4 points. Oh, she misses the first attempt from the free throw line with 2 minutes and 21 seconds left.
Our free throw line hasn't been the best for the Nabisunsa side, as she gets one of the two to drop. They've been at that line 9 times, Nabisunsa. We've only converted 4 out of the 9.
Dorina Chibuka drives in, gets UCU to 76 points. Melissa Chisache is fouled there, so she'll go to the free throw line.
Your friend?
Yeah. He's not happy about the way Igraneza was sliding there.
But once in a while, I mean, defense will not be 100% all through the game. Once in a while, a player will definitely get beaten, and Igraneza was completely left behind on that drive from Kisache Melissa, who has also made 1 of 2 from the charity line for the Nabisunsa side.
You can't possibly have predicted this, but Melissa Chisache has a game high 16 points. If you have to look at both sides, UCU and Nabisunsa, she's outscored everybody else.
More than Nachibuka? I thought Nachibuka had gone on a scoring run for UCU, the Lady Cannons.
Nope. Nachibuka actually, looking at her tally as it is, because she's shot number 18 rather.
18, yes.
She has 11.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, off the bench, so very impressive of Kisache, Melissa of Nabisunsa.
Because she also didn't start.
Yeah, she came off the bench. For her to have not just a team high, but a game high, 16 points. Melissa Kisache has attempted 11 of the field goals and made 5 of those count. That's the reason why she holds the 16 points. Of course, coming into this game, I'm sure everyone might have called and said it would be Abigail Mpoza who will lead the scoring for Nabisunsa.
You would have put your money on her.
Yeah, she's not doing too bad. She has struggled all through, but even in those struggles, she has 12 points. Abigail Mpoza.
Were the fans enjoying their drink as well as they watch Nabisunsa?
This is Namuongo. Why don't you just
Namuongo
say?
Fans, yeah. They know how to have a hare. Is it called a hare or a party?
Both are applicable, depending on which generation you're with.
Nachibuka with 11 points. Gladys Aya with a mid-range jump, and she finally gets it. And that is what it means for her teammates as they get off their seats to celebrate, just like Gloria had predicted it.
Yeah, I'm sure she's not showing the celebration, but I know deep within her, she's actually clapping for herself, Gladys Aya.
Igiraneza makes it 80 for UC on the quick break. I'm sure now the relief she feels now that she's been able to get her first bucket at the LUGOGO Indoor Stadium must be huge. Nabisunsa, Abi Faith with the fake there. Shoots again, picking the rebound. Izikiru back to Abi Faith. But the ball is stolen by Zoe. Not for long though. And that's good play there by Auma Joy.
That was quick. Such a quick drive and a quick release to avoid the block from Gladys Aya. Auma Joy, as she got that floater to drop 7 points now for Auma Joy, who is still on court with her 4 personal fouls, 4 individual fouls that she picked up in the third quarter of the ball game. But she continues to play as cautiously as possible to try and maintain her stay on the floor for Nabisunsa.
Ball, Nabisunsa having possibly one of the last attacks of the game. I guess they want to get to the 50-point mark, but then a good rebound coming in from Gladys Aya, who is playing for the first time in the NBL.
A good pass from Zoe Atek into Igiraneza, who falls short on the finish over the 2 points.
Quick pass from Bridget Kaluma. Igiraneza with a mid-range ball, bounces off the iron. Bridget, rather now it is Doreen. Bridget again shoots, but then rebound by Abigail Mfoza. Melissa Machikiru gathers, tries to find Abi Faith. Yikiru with a bucket. Good play by Yikiru on Nabisunsa, takes her tally to 7.
Very resilient on that play, Nabisunsa. Make sure that at least they got the final say, which they did through Yikiru Matha, the final basket. Not enough to get them over the charge that was the UCU Lady Cannons, showing that they can afford to sit their stars out and it will still be a high-scoring game for them.
Yeah, 80-46. I guess the kind of result that would one would say was easily predictable.
Oh yes, if you are the Lady Cannons, players like Gladys Aya, players like Bridget Kaluma, I think for them this is going to be the best evening when they return to the university, the UCU Lady Cannons. Winning this one over Nabisunsa, of course they have the bigger challenge to think of. That is in 2 days away. They take on the defending champions, the Lady Dolphins. That will be on Good Friday. So this basically has been a warm-up on what that showcase will be like when they take on the Lady Dolphins.
Yeah, and of course, considering that quite a number of players have been rested by Coach Nick Natuhereza, I guess it is quite clear what the message is.
Oh yeah, Friday is the big thing. Friday is where those 5, the 40-plus minute players will now have to toil it out over the defending champions. So tonight, dominant on the rebounds was the UCU Lady Cannons. They picked up 59 rebounds. But well, just looking at the stats, even Nabisunsa came through with 59 rebounds. So the dominance of the Lady Cannons came through from the free throw line, which we spoke about. Free throws for Nabisunsa were not the best. For the Lady Cannons, they were shooting at 55%, making 12 of 20 free throws.
Well, news coming from the YMCA, the JKL Lady Dolphins have beaten the KIU Rangers by 21 points, 68-47. And again, guess what? It was a 6 women rotation. As Rita Imanishimo scored 21 points in 31 minutes, as well as Tamasha Nsobuga, formerly with Nabisunsa, 38 minutes is now such a goal-getter with 20 points from 38 minutes, and as well as Flavio Okecho, the veteran, with 15 points from 37 minutes. We're going to take a short break, and we will be back as NBA Sport and the National Basketball League continues here at the Lugogo Indoor Stadium in a bit.
one of also those days when you don't want to research a lot.
Like when it comes to the scores. But even
well, our latest installment for the Wednesday night hopes will be one against one of the teams on the longest winning streak. That is the Namuongo Blazers up against the Kampala Rockets, a team in their race, to say the very least, raising 5 players to start on court tonight. We shall be telling you the story right alone has been an issue. Ladies and gentlemen, Namuongo, if you fail to beat the Kampala Rockets tonight, I do not know what I'll describe that as. It's a day that started with a lot of certainties, even with the late arrival of the UCU Lady Cannons. We all knew that they will get the better of Nabisunsa. And in our preview, we did tell you that tonight is one of those days that you feel there is only to be one winner. But sport is such a thing that can provide a lot of intricacies. Not always 1 + 1 = 2. But it will be a massive dive if Namuongo were not able to win this. Reason 1, Namuongo, one of those on the hottest winning streaks, defending champions, the team in the red. The Rockets just winning 2 and losing 7. And we have a story also behind the headlines tonight that we shall be providing about what the Kampala Rockets are all about.
Michael, you always have stories. We're about to nickname you the storyteller.
The storyteller.
Not the commentator, but the storyteller.
Yeah, not the storyteller. Absolutely.
Well, we can't wait for that juice.
Yeah.
About the team in the white, Kampala Rockets. They actually now have 1 player on the bench, so 6-man team, looking to pull off what the defending champions in the Women's League have just done. That is the JKL Lady Dolphins cleaning off KIU Rangers. That game was played earlier at the YMCA, and a 6-women team over the JKL Lady Dolphins finishing with a 21-point victory over KIU. 68-47 the final score.
That's massive. And if
just 6 players.
If there's anybody who needed such motivation, I'm not the best motivational speaker, but they have the first bucket. The team who were underhanded.
Gideon Kasasa gets the first break off. 2 points on that transition for the Rockets. You can see him there in the picture. I was just acknowledging the pass. Roxina Humuza with that ahead pass for him as he picked up the 2 points and the foul committed by Ivan Mohwezi, shot 7-7 over the Namuongo Blazers, his first personal. But how is it? It's going to be a really long night
for
the Kampala Rockets. Kasasa missing at the foul line. They need everything they can get. Any free throw should be converted if you're Kampala Rockets.
Any wild shot should get in.
Is that a wild shot? I don't think so. Ivan Muhwezi with the bucket from the corner, nails the 3 ball, sets himself up to make amends for that foul bucket he picked up on Kasasa Gideon, as Brian Opio's attempt for the Kampala Rockets falls short.
That's a man whose profile has been growing this season.
Oh yes, Henry Sebagala. Since his last days with our savior, a now defunct side, he took on the role of shooting guard with the Namuongo Blazers. And Michael, just like you said, his role has been growing steadily. 3 ball converted, Brian Opio, with that interplay between him and Ahumuza. But like you were saying, Henry Sebagala right there on the basketball for the Namuongo Blazers was playing largely 7 minutes, averaging 7 minutes, but this time around, he's been one of those players that gets 25 plus minutes on the court for Stephen Nyeko.
And he had 14 points in his last game for the Namungo Blazers, who ever since losing to the City Oilers on opening night, as that 3-ball gets to drop.
Roxina Humuza with a second successive 3 for the Kampala Rockets, who enjoy a rare lead, 1-point lead over Namungo Blazers.
There's Henry Sebagala, kick pass. Peter Obleng not able to connect. What's the response?
3-ball
from the Kampala Rockets. Against all odds.
Yeah, they stretch their lead. Very, very interesting start of events for the Kampala Rockets. That 3-ball through Shafiq Kinyera as the putback counts for Peter Obleng of the Namungo Blazers. But 3 3-point shots converted by the Rockets, and that gives them a lead in the first quarter.
Roxanne not able to connect, but the man who has been making all those frantic calls, oh guys, let's just play, gets to convert.
That is Francis Kasinde with the perimeter finish of the miss from teammate Roxina Humuza, as Ivan Muhwezi's attempt from top of the key is wayward. Rebound to the Rockets.
Another 3.
That's
and Francis
4.
Kasinde.
That's 4. So 4 of the 5 players currently on court for the Kampala Rockets have each contributed from beyond the arc. That's Brian Opio, Shafiq Kinyera, Roxine Ahumuza, and now Francis Kasinde.
Chance for the Rocket to somehow surprise us. Gideon Kasasa floating it. Always a man they rely on. For some reason, the unthinkable is happening, at least until that moment.
Oh,
but
yes,
this man has been happening all season long.
Yeah, it was a 9-point lead for the Rockets before Peter Obleng drained the 3. And Kasinde on the stretch can't convert the layup. But now it is still a 6-point lead for the Kampala Rockets in the opening quarter. Travel violation called on Ivan Muhwezi. With a protest there. Says there was no travel, but it is a travel violation, as the Namungo Blazers will opt to take their first timeout. Stephen Nyeko's charges now settling in. I guess they are wondering why they are down 6 points to a 6-man team, the Kampala Rockets.
Well, just to try and tell the little bit of the story.
Yeah, give us the juice.
An investor pulls out.
Yes.
So all of a sudden, a team that is full of imports from around the region,
yes,
has to live on their own. The Kampala Rockets.
Those are the disadvantages when you have a high percentage of foreign-based players. And I'm sure those players you're talking about, and for the fans who are watching the game, those are players like Juf Mpia.
Thank you very much.
Players like Puwati Ozias Kikomba. Players like Christian Dibu. Players like Mampuya Toussaint. I mean, you can hear the names. These are all
so much. So a team
players from the DRC.
By professionals who work for that dime.
The back, yeah. Their work
and
stops at the back.
Yeah. And all of a sudden,
no backs, no
backs,
no play.
And ladies and gentlemen, and a story is unfolding before us. I don't know for how much longer. So they are up against all odds, this Kampala Rockets team.
Yeah, well, of course, Stephen Nyeko, the coach of the Blazers, not willing to risk any further. He now brings his versatile 5. Jimmy Anabu on the ball, James Okello, Anthony Chukura getting his first touch in the first round. Frank Fataki Nyembo is on, and Tony Drileba. That's how bad they want to overturn the scoreline against the Kampala Rockets. Still enjoying their 6-point lead.
Blazers not always been the fastest starters in ball games, even in games that they won comfortably all season long. And that probably explains the story.
Fataki falling short on the finish. Coming off the bench for the Blazers, the player they acquired in that off-season window. Got him from Summit Spartans, a team they play on Friday. As James Okello makes light work of that entry pass from fellow power forward Chukura Anthony. And he gets the first 2 points for himself off the bench.
So just to complete the story.
Yes.
It's been about frantic calls from that man shooting. Like, guys, let's just come.
Oh, yeah. You see how much he wants to win. Excellent fall away from Francis Kasinde for the Kampala Rockets. Takes their tally to 20 points.
Well, you phoned me speaking to him.
Yes, I did. Just before the ladies' tip-off.
The ladies' tip-off.
Yeah, you are getting the story.
I was getting the story after hearing hints of.
So how many paragraphs did you collect? Can you write a novel?
Some I will retain.
Can you write a novel? Is it a good script?
Years later, maybe, or as they say, a few moments later.
Is it a good script for
because
the fraternity?
I do not want to bias our audience.
Yeah.
In terms of thinking there is only one winner in this ball game. So maybe
you're letting it play out.
Yeah. And later on we shall unleash the whole story.
I hear
How
you.
about that?
I hear you. I can settle for that. Gideon Kasasa fouled. Misses his first try. Not the first time that he misses. That is his second visit at the charity stripe for the Kampala Rockets. He's now 1 of 3 from that charity line, Gideon Kasasa. Rockets extending their lead now to 7 points, 21-14 against the defending champions, the Namwongo Blazers.
You've told me about their incredible, surprising win. They don't have so many. They have 2. But there's one that comes to mind, Gloria. Did they handle the UCU Cannons?
Kampala Rockets, that game at Abja. Was that game at Abja?
I think so.
I'm trying to recall.
Yeah, we are trying to recall as well. They have a surprise in them. And speaking surprises, they have the call in their favor.
Gideon Kasasa fouled once again. This time he was attempting the long one. So getting a few words of positivity from Kasinde. He was attempting the 3 ball, so Gideon Kasasa will shoot 3 of those foul shots for the Kampala Rockets. This time he makes sure that the nightmares that he started with on missing the first one do not follow him on this visit now to the charity stripe, as he makes the first one count. Misses the second, but he still has another, because he was attempting the 3 ball when he was fouled. So he has the last one to attempt, Gideon Kasasa.
Team captain for the Kampala Rockets, who incredibly lead against the Namwongo Blazers. I mean, in the build-up to tonight's action, my partners, Brian Tucker, stating it in no uncertain Luchiga terms, like they would say that there will be no other result apart from the favorites winning tonight. One result was a foregone conclusion, as the UCU Lady Cannons got the better of your former side. This one still work to do, although it's still a long way off.
Yeah, reverse layup from Nyembo Fataki. He gets 4 points coming off the bench for the Blazers. Gideon Kasasa will not be denied the shimmy to the rim as he scoops it up over Anthony Chukura's lengthy contest.
James Okello. Ball distribution. That tapped out of bounds.
Great read defensively by Mugabo Edward, right there in the picture, shot 15, coming off the bench for the Kampala Rockets. They can only afford to rest one player at a time, so Mugabo comes in for Shafiq Kinyera as James Okello is caught in the act right in front of the referee. A shove into the back of Brian Opio on that hustle for the rebound.
Well, ever since losing their opener against the City Oilers, Namungo Blazers have been to crush every other opponent around them. In fact, their last game, a 106-68 victory, the first team to score 100 points. But tonight, being asked some questions.
Yeah, lots of questions are being asked by the Kampala Rockets, especially one man, Gideon Kasasa, with the iconic jersey number 23. Great ball movement for Taki. Misses the first, but collects his own miss. Takes his tally to 6 points on that putback for the Namungo Blazers, who still have a lengthy deficit to close out on. 27-18 the score. As Kasinde hangs in, releases, they find the hot hand of Gideon, who turns it over. Is it highlight moment? Yes! The double clutch. Emotionless from Nyembo Fataki. Double clutch, 200 dunk off a steal against the Kampala Rockets.
He's looking for another steal, but the hooter will go off to signal end of Q1. An exciting game led by the biggest of the unfancied opponents on a given match day in Ugandan basketball in the season 2026.
Absolutely. 7-point lead for the Kampala Rockets. 6-man Kampala Rockets team. To make that correction clear, that's the team we talk about, the Kampala Rockets. Just 6 players available tonight to play in this league game against the Namungo Blazers, the defending champions of the Men's National Basketball League. The hot hand tonight in this opening quarter belonging to Kasasa Gideon, who carries the load offensively with 11 points to give them that 7-point lead. But of course, Kasinde Francis, who Michael has been talking about, has been making the frantic calls, is also making sure that the hard work and the effort pays off. He is the second leading scorer for the Rockets with 7 points.
I mean, what a story unfolding before us. Obviously, a lifetime of 3 quarters of 10 minutes of stopping time. I would be hard pressed to find a better surprise. Can I call it a surprise?
I mean, you might be surprised
if there was
Rockets,
to be
if Rockets
any other results apart from a Namungo comfortable victory.
You will be surprised.
But this is where we are, 7 points in it.
We've just talked about the surprise, not a surprise as such, a 6-women team beating a 12-women team. That's the JKL Lady Dolphins defeating the KIU Rangers. That game has just been played at YMCA.
Absolutely.
Maybe Kampala Rockets were following it online.
Yeah.
And that is something they are picking up from. That has given them the confidence and belief that, yes, we are just 6 guys taking on the defending champions, but that shouldn't faze us at all.
Correction, 6 unmotivated guys.
They look like they are motivated. What did Kasinde promise from those phone calls?
No single coin, no single promise.
A beer at the end.
Kasinde sipping away alone. There he is, falling away from distance. And he does connect, he's locked in, isn't he?
Yeah, 10 points off that 3 ball. Banks it in off top of the glass for Kasinde Francis, his second 3 ball, connecting for the Kampala Rockets. 10-point lead they enjoy in the second quarter.
Blazers always usually find a way. And that man returning. First game of the season.
Yep, for Tony Drileba. Great pass from James Okello, who could have powered his way in that post position. That is his area of operation. But he gives up the pass unselfishly into the hands of Tony Drileba for the 2 points.
And when they get going, they can look dangerous.
Unstoppable. Jimmy Anabu, fast bucket, scoops it in from the baseline. As now the Blazers cut it to a 6-point lead from the Kampala Rockets.
What's the Rockets' response?
Mugabo's attempt falls short. Advance. James Okello.
On the other end.
Dime.
What's that run?
A 6-3 run now. Kasinde had the opening 3 for the Kampala Rockets, but now 6 points converted by the Namwongo Blazers. They break it to a 4-point lead.
Blazers losing just the one basketball game. But that man leading from the front, team captain Gideon Kasasa.
He doesn't wear the captaincy armband for nothing. Has the 3-ball converted, stretches his team's lead back 33-26. They lead by 7 points off that 3-ball from Gideon Kasasa, who now has 14 points to lead the scoring for the Rockets. Shafiq off the dribble, off the fake, gets the midi to drop. Kampala Rockets holding on.
You must be kidding me about this score. I mean, come on, get real. Something has got to give. Not for the Rockets. And they could actually stretch it a lot further. This is the man who's been making the frantic calls. Missed the last game. Doesn't miss the bucket. 11 points in it.
Dances his way to the rim for the Kampala Rockets.
Well, I thought the choice of the fixtures at what venue would be was questionable.
Yeah.
Until what is unfolding before us.
Didn't I tell you, surprise?
Not that anything is sealed, but with struggles like this, they will encourage the Rockets until Fataki happens.
And it does happen in a strong drive. Look at that replay there. Fataki closing in on 3 defensive players from the Kampala Rockets. Takes it strong to the rim. He's fouled. He has 6 points for the Namwongo Blazers coming off the bench. A man who rarely says so much when he is playing, but his movement and his finishing, his productivity on the court is what speaks for him, for Fataki Nyembo, acquired from Somet Spartans, now playing his first season with the Blazers. Misses both at the charity line. James Okello again can't finish off from under the rim.
And Francis Kasinde will pick up the pieces. Kasinde, kick pass, Ahumuza misses everything. Is a point for James Okello, the easiest you'll ever get.
The easiest indeed. So easy on that transition for the Namwongo Blazers, but there will be a safety call as Gideon Kasasa, the man with the scorching hot hand for the Kampala Rockets, right there in your picture. He did get a collision in there on that last play, the drive and kick from his teammate Francis Kasinde. That's one of the things that took him down.
So, not so difficult to predict what the problem could be. Probably a pull of the muscle.
Kasasa limping his way off the court. The fact that he can actually limp away shows that it's not too bad of an injury, but it is too bad for the Kampala Rockets. They will miss him because he had actually picked up his rhythm, scoring from any point he wanted to get a bucket for the Kampala Rockets. That was Gideon Kasasa, who limps off with 14 points to lead all scores.
Already the team so short-handed, having one substitute and now having an injury scare. so early on in Q2. Jimmy dishes to a former teammate from the Oilers as Namuongo look to close down on the Rockets. Gloria.
James Okello with another finish for the Namuongo Blazers.
Opio looking to size up his opponent. Anthony Drileba hits the floor. Looks like he's called for a travel violation.
No, actually, jump ball.
Oh.
Possession for the Namuongo Blazers.
7 points in it. You really have got to give it to the Kampala Rocket. So short-handed, so unmotivated.
Kick pass gone wrong. Nyembo trying to find the shooting arm of Tony Drileba, who had relocated from the corner into a different position on the court. So the kick pass finding him at a different spot, and instead ball going over the sideline. So turnover by Nyembo of the Blazers.
Francis Kasinde pulling up, coming up short. One of the strongest men, if not the strongest in the league. And if you want to believe me, that move should show you something.
One of the quickest running big men on the floor in Nyembo. The previous play, he double clutched to finish with a double-handed dunk. This time, couldn't do so because he had two defenders closing out on him. He makes the basket, but picks the foul as well. As we get a look at the Namuongo Blazer fans right there in your picture, they have a thing or two to say each and every time. I wonder what they are saying this time. And they seem to be pointing to the bench of the Kampala Rockets.
So opinionated, to say the very least, wherever you find them. A much cooler conversation.
Yeah, that's Doreen Nachibuka has enjoyed a couple of minutes for the Lady Cannons. They were the opening game against Nabisunsa, winning it 80-46. Doreen Nachibuka having some brilliant moments in that game. She played 27 minutes, highest minutes that she's been awarded by her coach. Very calm as she stays to enjoy the rest of the action. Won't say much for her neighbor, whose facial expression changed. Not as calm as Nachibuka's. The discussion, I guess, is about what's transpiring on the court.
Well, I tell you what, in my small conversation with Francis Odom, Jersey 11 White, I mean, he just letting me know that it was all about convincing his teammates to just about get over the first round. It's not even about getting over the season as it is.
Yeah, baby steps, one step at a time. For the Kampala Rockets, they only have one more game after this to complete their first round of the regular season. So I guess for him, he's thinking, let's play this out one game at a time. And then when that break comes in before the second round starts, maybe they can have a chance to chat in general with the rest of the players and try and see how they get them on board.
I love that sort of leadership. And who doesn't love that floater?
Leadership coming to the forefront through the captain of the Rockets, Gideon Kasasa, with the baseline floater. That injury didn't really keep him out for so long. He returns to hound the defense of the Blazers as Innocent Ochera off the bench, straight to work, first bucket, the midi.
Reduces the deficit to 4. Roxy Nahomuza kills the dribble. Looks like he's in danger. Gives it up. Joseph Opio comes up short from behind the arc. And now a chance for Namuongo to even lessen the deficit. Fataki Nyembo been a missing figure in a couple of games previously.
You don't have a storyline on that?
I don't quite have it.
Not
by
yet.
The way. Not
Okay.
yet.
I'm sure you'll get it. You'll find it somehow.
I'll be happy that you share it.
A quick drive from Nyembo attracts the referee's whistle, and that will be another foul on the short-handed Kampala Rockets. Something they will need to be very wary about, since there are just 6 players. You don't want 2 or more players fouling out of the ball game. Fataki missing the second, but Tony Drileba comes through with the offensive rebound.
Well, the FUBA rules stating that at minimum a team can only field 3 players against all odds. Basketball is a 5-man team, as that is kicked out of bounds, as Namongo have the chance to now have the first lead of the game. If they are to maximize this possession, Innocent Echera launching it, not able to connect. Roxana Humuza. Is there a rare story unfolding before us? Rocket somehow staying alive and pulling the shots.
They do stay alive. A great bounce into the corner from Roxine to the open arms of Chinyera Shafiq. Finishing off cleanly, he gets string music, and it is all net. The 3-ball falling beautifully for this Kampala Rockets side. 8 3-point shots converted, and it is just the first half.
And they are lacking so many players. This is a man who just converted from deep. Calls the play. Rockets. Roxina Humuza hits nothing. Chance for the Blazers to respond. Tony Drieba, Innocent Ochera, catch and off the dribble shot. Not able to connect as he hits the iron. And the Rockets can come again. Under 2 minutes. A long wild 3. Nyembo Pataki. Quite a strong finisher. The strongest, in my opinion, in the league.
Yeah, aside from the strength, he shows that he actually can handle the basketball. Double crosses his way to the rim. Careful on the finish, Nyembo Fataki. Chinyera this time around steps over the sideline. His foot over the line as he was attempting to connect from beyond the arc for the Kampala Rockets.
Well, if you, the Blazers, what would you be disappointed about at this stage in the game?
How they started the opening quarter of the ball game, giving away the easy 3-point shots. As I speak, Tony Drileba burying one of those, the 3-point shots that the Kampala Rockets have largely enjoyed in this first half.
First lead for the second-ranked team in the nation. And that explains the ecstasy, the conversation.
Well, Francis Kasinde will be disappointed with that. An unforced error that he committed. The small forward of the Kampala Rockets. Anthony Chukura still looking for his first 2 points since playing in this first ball game for the Namongo Blazers. He's been away since the tip-off of this 2026 season. So he gets minutes now, his first in the league.
Tony comes up short. Blazers for their first lead. Can they close it out? He lost possession. Previously, but now look to make an assist. Nearly an assist. But Gideon Kasasa can't connect, but gets the umpire interested.
Oh, that was such a keen, clean look. Look at that replay from Francis Kasinde. Closed out 2 defenders, but he still has the eyes to place the basketball into the hands of Gideon Kasasa, the Rockets' hot hand. Didn't get the finish, but got the foul against the Blazers.
Team captain leading from the front. We are tied at the brink of halftime.
Well, the Blazers didn't really enjoy their lead.
Absolutely, they didn't.
One of 2 free throws converted from Kasasa to even the scoreline with just a couple of seconds left to go into the halftime break.
Can they go into the first break in the lead? Chukuma comes up short. And ladies and gentlemen, that hooter will go to signal end of first half. And we are tied incredibly. The highly fancied Namuongo up against the extremely short-handed Kampala Rockets, tied at 43 all. What's been the biggest storyline for you as we hit the halfway mark?
The energy that the Rockets have brought, they're not letting the fact that they are short-handed shake them physically or even mentally, but also the shooting of the 3-point shot. They've converted 8 in the first half of the ball game. We'll see lots more raining from them. 4 of the 6 players available have been able to connect from beyond the arc. That is the reason why they're enjoying competing against the defending champions.
Is this a game you feel that Namuongo should surely be able to get over the line onto?
Oh yes, they will have no reason, no excuses to give if they are not able to defeat a 6-man Kampala Rockets side.
You're not even talking about a top contender here tonight. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as we take our biggest break of the ball game, about 8 minutes, we leave you with some of the better shots as we are tied at halftime. Namuongo Blazers being asked of questions here. They are on a roll. That man had 14 points in his last game, Henry Sebagala. But tonight, a short-handed Kampala Rockets asking questions of a highly fancied Namuongo Blazers. 43 all. Michael Kigozi, I have Gloria Chomgisha with me and the entire production team. Let's be back in about 8. Well, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for the start of the second half. Here's Q3 as we are tied after 2 quarters between Namungo Blazers in the red and the Kampala Rockets, who are extremely short-handed. Just one player on the bench, extremely short-handed, extremely unmotivated. The investor pulling out. This surely destined for a Namungo Blazer victory. But we've seen stranger things in the world of sport, as that is floated by a certain Mr. Tony Drileba. Michael Makiadi checking in for Namungo. Innocent Ochera for 3. Blazers starting strong here in quarter 3.
Kampala Rockets yet to get a basket in the third quarter as they try to play out. Shot clock violation almost getting to them, but they get a reset on the steal by Gideon Kasasa. Edward Mugabo attempts from beyond the arc but falls short. Now Innocent Ochera on the drive kicks it into the hands of the quick-footed Frank Fataki Nyembo. Tony Drileba.
That doesn't get to connect. But now Namungo looking to assert their authority. I don't know if the Rockets are left with anything in their tank.
I think they have. Why don't you think they have anything? The advance pass into Nyembo. His team enjoying a rare 6-point lead. They are the defending champions, taking on a short-handed opponent. Michael Makiadi can't get the midi, but Arthur Wanyoto picks up the offensive rebound. Nyembo. This time he's sent tumbling to the floor. The shoulder dab of Francis Kasinde sends him tumbling to the ground on that attack. Something he's done all through the first 2 quarters of the game for the Namungo Blazers is attack the rim and attack solidly, aggressively. Fataki Nyembo, an area where he has been dominant for the Blazers. A recall on that call. Referee says won't be a shooting foul for Nyembo, but an inbound for the Blazers.
So no shooting foul. Innocent Ochera faking. Tapped in by Fataki Nyembo. And now looks like the momentum well into the hands of the favorites tonight.
An 8-0 run by the Blazers. Tony Dweleba with the steal finds Michael Makiadi, sets himself gently, finishes off with the left hand.
I love the fact that he knows he has frail knees.
He's been booed by the fans for not attempting to dunk. And look at that pressure defense. Innocent Ochera pouncing on Gideon Kasasa, who is forced into an 8-second violation, as Kampala Rockets will opt to take their first timeout in the third quarter. A 10-0 run by the Namwongo Blazers, and now they enjoy a comfortable 10-point lead over the Kampala Rockets.
Well, probably a familiar scoreline if you are to ask a neutral basketball fan.
That's what you wanted?
I mean, just predicting before the start of the match, but it hasn't always been plain sailing for the champions from last season.
No, they started their season with a loss to the City Oilers. That's the Namwongo Blazers. But since then have not looked back or suffered any other defeat. And they're not looking to drop this game as well against the Kampala Rockets, who incidentally are the team that is biting back. They want the win. They want the win so bad, as you see in your picture. Kasinde Francis using his fist to drum across his instructions, his energy, trying to rally the troops, give them that positivity and the confidence to believe that they can actually topple the giant who are the defending champions, the Namwongo Blazers. But that is a hard ask. If you're Francis Kasinde and the Kampala Rockets, that's a hard ask of him, of a team that is not just defending a title but has a wealth of experienced and versatile players. The attempt from Ochera falling short. The rebound this time for the Rockets, who can get a first bucket of the third quarter. Their first bucket through Brian Opio, connecting from beyond the arc.
Rockets looking to stay alive, but for how much longer, I wonder. Pataki Nyembo trying from an unfamiliar position. Blazers retain possession. No sight of Joel Banza-Lokoji. As the Blazers are dispossessed. Well, Rockets still in it.
They are still in it. They get a chance to rework their offense. That is just a fake count. And I like the fact that they are not falling for it. They get to settle down, run their plays. The attempt for the three ball from Mugabo Edward falls short.
For a minute I had fallen for it.
You had fallen for it?
Yeah, I had fallen for it. Somebody
you know what the Blazer fans do.
Yeah.
They try to dupe
I was
you.
Losing track
yeah, no, they try to dupe you. You need to keep an eye.
Republic.
Look at that, the fake and step through from Frank Nyembo, who is fouled by Brian Opio of the Rockets. Took a hard slap to his forehead on that attempt of the field goal by Nyembo. Still rubbing the area there where he was slapped by Brian Opio of the Kampala Rockets as he gets ready to attempt the two foul shots.
Blazers not expected by many to make hard work over this victory. But sometimes games easier played on paper than in actuality, and that's what we are witnessing.
Well, they always say the best players are the fans, those that are on the sidelines watching. As the ball, last touch of Michael Makiadi of the Blazers. But a quick correction there, of course, our production team will correct on the scores. It is 52 Namwongo Blazers and 46 of the Kampala Rockets. Kasinde finds the kick into Brian Opio, doesn't get the finish on that 3-ball attempt, but quickly stolen. Mugabo with the fake gets the friendly bounce. Edward Mugabo, his first 2 points for the Kampala Rockets, who are now within touching distance. A 4-point lead for the Blazers, 52-48.
No return victory, as many of us expected, as Innocent Ocheda pulls up. Last touch
of Michael Makiadi once again on that hustle for the rebound. Last touch of the Blazers.
Roxane. Brian Opio launching for the 3. Are they running out of steam? The team in the white, I wonder. They concede from a man who has had a hot hand. Probably the player of the best part of this regular season, Mr. Peter Obleng.
3-ball from Peter Obleng. Kasinde forced into a travel violation for the Kampala Rockets. Obleng sitting out majority of the second quarter. Gets back on the court for the Blazers and gets the 3-ball to count. Takes his tally to 8 points.
Michael Makiadi. Now Blazers sharing it. When you have him on court, you have something to think about.
Yeah, and just like that, Peter Obleng getting into the double figures, 11 points of that second successive 3-ball. Kasasa floats it over Makiadi but doesn't get the friendly finish. And Jimmy Anabu will slow it down for the Blazers. Finds Arthur Wanyoto. Thinks about the pass back into Jimmy Anabu. They run the high peak. Arthur Wanyoto. Innocent Ochera gets the 3-ball. The Blazers shooting lights out from downtown.
Now this is the Blazers that their fans know. Made to work hard to try and exert their authority on this ball game. But always optimistic of victory. And with moves like those,
travel violation on Kasasa Gideon, right there in the picture, donning the iconic number 23. Was hoping for a blocking foul against the Blazers defense, closing out on him before he tumbled over the sideline. Ended up committing a travel violation. Ochera, the ball just out of the rim on the attempt from 3. An 18-5 run for the Blazers. Kasinde can't finish, picks his own miss.
Kicks it out to Gideon Kasasa, team captain. Good attack from the Rockets.
A great baseline drive from Mugabo Edward, having a chat there with Kasasa. He draws the foul on Arthur Wanyoto, and that will see him go to the charity line for the Kampala Rockets, only putting up 5 points in this third quarter, turning out to be one of their lowest scoring quarters. They had 27 in the first, they had 16 in the second, and now they have 6 so far in the third.
Obviously, for me, not one of their worst performances under the circumstances.
Absolutely.
Even as they have just the 2 victories to boast over us, another 3 gets to connect from that man who is unrelenting in trying to attempt them in Innocent Ochera.
Innocent Ochera, 11 points and counting off that 3-ball from beyond the arc. A beautiful scoop finish from Brian Opio for the Rockets.
Good find from Jimmy. Michael Makiadi misses the first attempt. Put back good from the Nigerian.
Anthony Chukura with the putback offensively for the Blazers. He fouls.
He's so motivated. Looks like his life depends on this.
Imagine how big, what the headlines would read like tomorrow if the Rockets came out victorious tonight over the Namwongo Blazers. I think that is the motivation that is going through the mind of Francis Kasinde.
The man we call Odom coaches the parliamentary team as well, basketball team.
Oh yes, oh yes. He should become a member of parliament someday. Someday.
That team captained by a certain Mr. Mwine Impaka. They had all it their way in the last parliamentary games, that parliamentary basketball team. And that's the brain behind it, the Jersey 11 white.
Not forgetting that he is assisted by Innocent Ochera right there on the basketball for the Namwongo Blazers. So those two working in tandem to coach the members of parliament some basketball. But tonight they are facing each other as friend and foe.
Blazers in a position they are comfortable with and their fans are comfortable with.
A 13-point lead they boost of in the third quarter, the Namwongo Blazers.
Jimmy. Innocent Ochera, another three. Comes up short. That should be a short clock violation. They haven't had so many against them. In fact, I feel this is their first.
It is the first one, short clock violation. As we take a look at the one sub for the Kampala Rockets, Roxina Humuza getting his breather on the bench. He will be called on to rotate one of these five in case they get exhausted.
Playing like a man possessed. Mr. Odom slicing it to 10 points. He's the gathering factor around this Kampala Rockets team. In this moment where not everything is moving for them. Michael Makiadi posting more than I've seen him in the last 1,000 games possibly.
Oh, he's got to use his size. No better way than to impose your size in that post position.
Seconds. Francis Kasinde wants the call, doesn't get it. Transition ball. This is where they can hurt you. As the clock expires, when they get into transition, they can be so dangerous, this Namwongo Blazers team. They haven't had it all their way against this short-handed Kampala Rockets team. A team lacking in motivation, not paid a single penny for the entire season. They are Sprimo or investor pulling out, but the team choosing to just about stay around. This has got to be the biggest motivational speaker the world has ever seen. If they are to pull off this victory, the man wearing that yellow cape.
Well, they will need to dig deep, the Kampala Rockets, to go over this hot Namwongo Blazers, who now enjoy a 12-point lead, courtesy of a dominant 23 points in the third quarter. 13 points for the Kampala Rockets. Francis Kasinde tied on scores with teammate Gideon Kasasa. Both have put up 17 points on that 56-point mark that the Kampala Rockets so far have. over the Namwongo Blazers. Right behind them is Brian Opio, who has 8 points. For the Namwongo side, Peter Obleng and Innocent Ochera are tied at 11, but Frank Fataki leads the scoring with 14 points. He's been rotated and will get a breather. That is Nyembo Fataki, their leading scorer tonight. So he gets to rest. 14.6 rebounds as Tony Drileba returns. James Okello also returns. He sat out the entire third quarter for the Blazers, so he returns to finish off the final 10 minutes. A team that has collected 40 of the 68 points from the paint. That is the 2-point field goal percentage for this Namwongo side has been 65% in this game. 40 points of the 68 that they've picked up. But a massive production from their bench players, contributing 48 points, the bench players of the Blazers.
Can the Blazers seal the deal? They're coming off an explosion of 106 points. The biggest scoreline we have seen in the league this season. Stolen ball. Transition ball. Peter Obleng.
Now why didn't James Okello finish that layup? That was a wide open layup.
Absolutely.
Dunk coming through.
So Peter Obleng sizing himself up, and we thought he was going for the hammer down. He chooses the easy two of the glass as Brano Pio fakes not once, not twice, and gets to connect.
He's got to celebrate that one. Beautifully executed over the contest of Jimmy Enabo. 3 fakes it took for Brian Opio to get the 3 ball, but on the opposite end, former teammates, they stay together. Jimmy on the drive just dumps it into James Okello, who finishes off the 2 points.
Ball near a loss. Gideon Kasasa looking to connect. A chance for some fast break points. Jimmy, the guilty party, acknowledges and accepts the call in Francis Kasindi. Picks up his second of the night. But how is possession then to the Rockets?
Might not have been a foul.
Well,
instead, referee says Jimmy Enabu was over the line on that layup attempt for the Namwongo Blazers. So just 2 personal fouls for Francis Odom, those he acquired through the first 3 quarters of the game.
Jimmy, post play the longest regular season he's played in the last 2-3 years. Can't find a teammate to connect. Gideon Kasasa, team captain, behind the back, a corner 3. Rockets basketball. Gideon in possession, cornered. Bano Pio, big finish from the Rockets.
A good pass from Opio into Mugabo Edward for the 2 points as Peter Obleng turns it over right into the hands of Kinyera Shafiq.
Shafiq for the 3. That gets to go down. Wait a minute. All of a sudden, it's not a foregone conclusion yet.
No doubt, the Kampala Rockets are still in competition against the Namwongo Blazers. That 3 ball by Kinyera Shafiq giving them a lifeline.
Jimmy can't connect, but they tip in for the man who has sat out for reasons that I don't know if Gloria knows for the longest part of the regular season.
You're the storyteller.
Gets to tip that in, the big Nigerian.
back to a 10-point lead off that putback from Anthony Chukura.
Blazers urged on. Tony Drileba has sat out for the longest part. Doesn't get to connect. What's the response from the short-handed Rockets? Gideon is fouled and says count that, and we shall do. And he has a chance to make it a 3-point play. 19
points for Gideon Kasasa on that replay. You see him acknowledging the fact that he took the basketball right into the armpit of Anthony Chukura, avoiding the block, but also focusing solely on getting the basket to drop. He leads the Kampala Rockets. Could be his best night, best performance for this Kampala Rockets side in this first round of the regular season. He completes the 3-point play, takes his tally to 20 points to lead the scoring for the Kampala Rockets. Not just a team high, but a game high for Gideon Kasasa.
6 minutes was there and thereabouts. Nyembo Pataki fails. Arthur Wanyoto makes the correction. Blazers in command now. Joseph Opio. We just saw some 3 fakes earlier on. Not so good with the layups.
Not enough elevation there on the reverse layup from Brian Opio of the Rockets.
Blazers will look to return the favor. Nyembo Pataki finds so much traffic. 2 against 2. Ends up in a Gideon Kasasa drive that comes up short. And on the other end, he's shown how it is done, coast to coast by Jimmy Enabu.
Jimmy Enabu choosing when to score, how to score, and how efficient has he been for the Namwongo Blazers as he finishes off coast to coast, gets the steal, gets the finish. Another 2 points for the Namwongo Blazers, the defending champions. Made to work by this 6-man Kampala Rockets team.
Point ball game it is. All of a sudden, what we thought was a straightforward victory is probably a victory in waiting, but not as comfortable as a lot of us would have thought given the circumstances.
Definitely not a comfortable one for the Blazers. Yeah, they are over the hurdle, have a double-digit lead over the Rockets, but the Rockets are not going away. They still have more gas in their tank as Odom Kasinde lets it fly, but not the 3 points that he wanted. And the pass too strong for Jimmy Enabu to hold, goes over the line.
Can the Rockets try and shake the status quo even a little more? Roxine, Ahumuza, Brian slips. The easiest bucket Nyembo Pataki will ever have. And he decides to have the double-handed dunk.
And we want some change, Nyembo. Not another double clutch. Change it, do the tomahawk, do the reverse, do anything. But well, second one for Fataki. Highlight moment. Yeah, set it for yourself off the backboard. Nete tusima.
Meanwhile, the opponents still think they are still in it.
They believe they are still in it, the Kampala Rockets.
Turnaround jumper off the glass. Arthur Wanyoto, once the call, doesn't get it. What's the response from Francis Odom? Misses. Now Nyembo Pataki can connect. And looks like it will now be a case of trying to make it respectable for the Kampala Rockets. As short-handed as they are, they ask questions of this Namungo Blazer team that are on a trailblazing run ever since losing the opener on opening night against the City Oilers, their nemesis, winning every other game. And Gloria looks like the gas in the tank has run out for this team.
You think so? I don't think so. I am highly in doubt of that statement, Mike. I think they still have more gas in the tank. Missed a couple of open looks, but that can be rectified if you're the Kampala Rockets. A pretty decent performance, and you've got to pat them on the back. 6 men going the long one and keeping the scoreline to this level against the defending champions. That's the Kampala Rockets. They enjoyed a huge first quarter where they were in the lead. That one finishing 27-20. But I think they still have more and more left to finish off this one in these final 3 minutes, 3 seconds.
Well, I've never worked with a more optimistic person than Michael commentator. But that facial expression from Francis Kasinde Odom, jersey 11, I think just about echoed what you are just saying. He feels they shouldn't be giving up yet.
And I agree with him. Just a 13-point game as Innocent Ochera takes it to 16. I beg your pardon, Mr. Ochera. It's now a 16-point lead off that 3 ball by Ochera Innocent for the Namungo Blazers.
Ahumuza looking to dribble off the feet or body of an opponent. Doesn't get the call.
Yeah, you can see him just saying, my bad, of that turnover. Roxina Ahumuza, the point guard over the Kampala Rockets.
Options at that moment.
Yeah, that's why he's acknowledging the mistake, the error.
Innocent Ochera shooting at will.
He has 14 points, right behind the leading scorer, who is Nyembo Fataki. 18 points for Nyembo Fataki, as right behind him, Innocent Ochera comes through with 14 points.
Francis Kasindi. Rockets.
Edward Mugabo stepping over the line as he was receiving the pass from teammate Ahumuza. Didn't realize that his foot was over that red line, the baseline demarcation for the basketball court.
An 8th victory lacking for the team in the white, as now Namungo look to share the ball. That man probably with an instruction to shoot on sight gets to execute.
17 points of that efficiency of Innocent Ochera. 4-3 to accompany those 17 points from the jersey number 9 of the Namungo Blazers.
Roxy Ahumuza gets to connect, beating the buzzer from downtown. Makes it a little more respectable. Fataki Nyembo, not always his preferred range. Hits the iron. And now commits the foul.
Reaching foul on Nyembo Fataki against the handles of Gideon Kasasa. The Kampala Rockets. Not a shooting foul as yet. The 3rd team foul committed by the Namungo Blazers.
Well, the Blazers continue to rack up the victories ever since their opening night defeat against their nemesis, the Oilers. What's been good about them tonight?
That man has been their energy. It's been their energy bunny for the Namungo Blazers. Doesn't get the call in his favor. Thought he was fouled on that step through for Fataki Nyembo. But since coming in, he came off the bench. That is where you could see he wanted to win the ball game, and he rallied the rest of his teammates alongside him. And that's the reason why he holds the highest number of points converted in the game, 18 points.
Bano Pio Roxy Nahumuza for the 3.
9 points for the point guard. All of them converted from beyond the 3-point arc. 3 3-point shots for Roxy Nahumuza.
One of their more high-scoring games. But now they will dribble it out. The Rockets, short-handed, just one player on the bench. A team lacking motivation. Tonight, they didn't look like it. They pushed one on a long winning streak at the death, and eventually Namongo Blazers get over the line. Gloria Chomgisha, this was a night that was expected to be of foregone conclusions, both in the women and the men's category, but Namongo probably didn't think they would be pushed to the limit as they were by the Kampala.
Oh yeah, definitely Rockets. Taking the tip-off of this ball game lightly. They were down 7 points at the end of the opening quarter. A great performance by the 6-man Kampala Rockets side. They brought effort into the game, and of course in the end, championship DNA rose to the forefront for the Namongo Blazers. A good scoring night for Gideon Kasasa. 22 points, 8 rebounds and 4 assists, but not enough to get them over the hurdle of the defending champions. Francis Kasinde, we could see how much he was doing on court. He finishes with 17 points to lead the Kampala Rockets. And for the Blazers, of course, they have players that can contribute on the points across the board. Fataki Nyembo, 18. Innocent Ochera, 17. Peter Obleng, 13. And James Okello with 10. So 4 players in double figures. That was too much firepower for the Kampala Rockets to handle. Eventually, Blazers finishing with a 13-point victory, 88-75 over the Kampala Rockets.
But we shall leave you with some of the best plays, ladies and gentlemen, for this Wednesday night hoops, live for you on NBA Sport. And on behalf of the entire crew and my co-commentators, Gloria Chomgesha and obviously Vianney Simbe earlier on, we leave you with some of the best plays so far in the night. Namongo win another one, but not quite at the canter. They were asked some questions by this short-handed Kampala Rockets team.
saying earlier, Gloria, Navisunsa have a big task
ahead of them as they pick their first bucket coming from Abigail Imposa. She's always expected to lead the charge there on offense.
Yep.
But the UCLD can't. Saying earlier, Gloria, Navisunsa have a big task ahead of them as they pick their first bucket coming from Abigail Imposa. She's always expected to lead the charge there on offense.
Yep.
But the UCLD can't. Tisha finds Ciela with a jump shot. Makes it 25-8. It probably could be one. Saima with a 3-ball and she sinks it, makes it 48.
For the Wednesday night hopes will be one against. For the Wednesday night hopes will be such motivation. I'm not the best motivational speaker, but they have the first bucket. The team who were underhanded.
Saying earlier, Gloria, Navisunsa have a big task ahead of them as they pick their first bucket coming from. We don't have Faith Aseru, we don't have Sheila Lamunu. I guess that tells you the same team all the time, then you're going to leave so many players unhappy. As Abigail Posa responds and makes it
the players.
Saima Christine with a chance for her first bucket. And she
in rhythm as they face that shot from Nantongo once again. She's really.
You wonder who then do they beat if they can't start. You look at the teams that
work in their favor.
Good pass coming in from Yikiru. They need to make sure that they execute each time they go on the offense as they are.
I think that was brilliantly done by Yikiru, much as she didn't convert the
ball as Sasha gets a pass from the Navisunsa and Sasha. Tisha finds Ciela with a jump shot.
Again, unable to get the ball successfully on the court, they turn it over. Because she knew, I've given away a foul, I shouldn't have done so. As another 3. Wow.
From what I can see here.
I don't know what the solution is from the JKL Lady Dolphins. As
the level performance from your team.
Yeah,
but I'm sure that
I like like the Lady Cannons. For Namale, look at the position the players become hugging the ball to avoid any chances of losing it.
Joya Woman now, and that's a good play there by.
It's such motivation. I'm not the best motivation.
Falls short with the Namongo Blazers, and Michael, just like you said, his role has been growing steadily. Largely 7 minutes, averaging 7 minutes, but this time around,
now Blaine not able to connect. What's the response?
Is a wayward rebound to the Rockets.
Another throw. Gideon Kasasa floating in. Some reason, the unthinkable is happening.
From Summit Spartans, a team they play on Friday.
From that man shooting, like, guys, let's just come.
The charity stripe for the Kampala Rockets. is now one
Lady
of
Cannons got the better of your former side.
Turkey. He gets 4 points coming off the bench for the Blazers. Gideon
6-68 victory. The first team to score 100
number
points.
23. Great ball movement for Turkey. Misses the block, who turns it over. Is it highlight moment? Yes!
He's looking for another steal, but sipping away alone. There he is, falling away. From distance! Is a point for James Okello.
With the rest of the players and try and see how they get them on board.
Rocket somehow saying, is there a rare story unfolding before us? Rocket somehow saying,
dunk coming through.
Oh, Peter, as Brano Pio fakes not once, not twice.
Over the contest of Jimmy Enabo. 3 fakes he took.
Find so much traffic. 2 against
Jimmy Enabo choosing when to score, how to score.
and Ale.
Yeah, set it for yourself off the backboard.